Ready? Whoa. It's that damn cat that I hate. Cha! Get him, Wriggle. Yeah. So. Last time on Streamer. What happened? Last time on Streamer, I went from Lavender to Fuchsia, back to Celadon. I looked at some emails and realized that I am missing out on some quality gameage because I assume every email I get is a scam. Because some of the emails I get are a scam. Why is that cut tree back? But it was cut when I came this week. What? What? Okay, that's weird. I don't know what that's about. Wait. If your art book is 40, I'm giving you a reward. Amulet coin. Jupe. You only got 36? You need 40 if you want a donation box. That you changed the item. What the fuck is the item finder then? Piece of shit. Alright, we got a couple more guys to fight, and then game time. Alright. So chat. I was thinking to myself. Remember I think we talked about it last time. Not yesterday, but just in general. But like shitty anime should be between the old rod and the bike. What? I'll have to look. I remembered one. Did you ever watch Kotora-san? Do you know that one? Did you ever watch that one? Man, that one was I don't even know how to explain that one. Okay, I can try. So, I don't remember much of the plot, but I remember the intro to it because it was kind of like, wow. So, basically, it's like given the life story of this girl. Her name is Kotora. Wow, shocker, I know. I need to see if I have fucking... I don't have it. Between the old rod and the bike. Do I have the old rod? I don't even have the old rod! Huh? Okay. Alright. Alright. Let's finish this off first. So it starts with this girl and how she's actually a mind reader. Right? She's a mind reader, and then she doesn't really understand that she's a mind reader and nobody else can read minds, and she ends up like sabotaging her relationships and people don't like her anymore, and she causes her parents divorce and their parents hate her because she's a mind reader, and it's like really fucked up. So she transfers into this her new school, and it's like this doom and gloom above her head, and it's like she can read minds, and it's like, wow, this is kind of depressing. And immediately she crosses by the guy sitting next to her, and he's thinking about like purple monkeys dancing in La La Land. And then suddenly it turns from like, whoa, that's a story, to haha hee hee shitty slice of life rom-com. And I was just like, what? Trust me, it was bad. I mean, it had to have been bad. I barely remember it. I remember the intro because it was so surprising. It was like setting this whole thing up. But no, it's because her neighbor is a fucking moron. Like, wow, I can get along with this guy because all he thinks about is purple monkeys. And dumb shit. Punk ass bitch. Fuck you. Thank you for the resub. That first bit wasn't addressed to you. It was addressed to the biker. Hideo. Alright. Alright. So yeah, wasn't very good. I remember there was a plot line where they were trying to figure out, like, someone was assaulting people. Somebody was assaulting people at night, and for some reason these high schoolers were on the case. And it turned out the assaulter was the police officer they were working with the entire time to catch the perpetrator. Wow. Crazy, right? Why'd she do it? I don't remember. I have no recollection. But she did it. She just beat people with her baton because she was angry at society or something. I don't know. Go check it out yourself if you're interested, because I'm not. The hammer of justice does not discriminate. Neither does the hammer of evil, I guess. Is it really evil to beat the shit out of strangers in the middle of the street in dark alleys? Is it really evil? I wouldn't say it was evil, but I'd definitely say it was fucking... What are you doing, dude? Does that constitute evil? Just seems like bad behavior to me. Crin! I'm gonna crin! Oh yeah, I have milk. Is it sunny? It is sunny outside. And I'm holding milk. What a combination. Why the hell is her name Milk? Alright. Cotton Sport. Oh wait, I think I already checked this on a different Pokemon. Yeah, I didn't do anything different. Stop learning this move. You know, I don't mind animal ears. I don't think animal ears are especially difficult to draw. Placing them's kind of hard. Tails are kind of a pain in the ass. I think it depends. Ron scares me for that reason. Cattails are annoying because they're like fucking tubes, and I always get the width of them like inconsistent. But Ron has 9 tails. What am I gonna do with 9 of those things? That's too many tails. Tails don't go in your ass, you freak. They go down to your tailbone above your ass. Then again, where do all 9 of Ron's come out of? Do they all come out of the same point? And they just split off? Or are they just, like, they have individual starting points? These are questions that God would never be able to answer. You know what's funny? You know what I think is funny? Tail whip? Tail whip! Level 33! Tail whip! You are fucking with me. Alright. Okay. Okay. I think it's funny how when characters have animal ears, there is a great effort. There's a great effort to hide where the human ears are. Very rarely do you find animal ear characters with like no side bags. But then there's characters like Orin who their hairstyles make it impossible to hide their ears, and they just they just have like human ears. Now, granted, some people do Rin with like pointed ears, so you know, you could argue that one. But I think it's funny because it's something that I don't really notice. It's some what the fuck? Oh, San Juan City Station. Oh, right, this. So for the most part, these characters don't have anything, right? And it makes sense they don't have anything. Hold on, I gotta find a. This is not the right way. I need to go south. It's just like it's not that it makes sense for them to not have it, but it's a weird thing. So they're just hidden, and you don't think about it. But a character like Orin, who's got two sets of ears, is just like, hey, and they're just hanging out, and you don't really think about it. At least I don't. I kind of stopped thinking about it a long time ago. I don't think she's the only one either to do that. I do think there's a couple others. Where the fuck do you get the item finder in here? I'm here for... No, I got the bike voucher here. You have a Renosuke. No. Where's the old man? The fishing guru. Not you. I don't even need the old rod. I don't need it, but here I am anyway, collecting it. I just think it's funny because it's not something you think about ever. But then, as soon as you see it, you're like, oh. But Orin doesn't look weird with it, you know? Orin doesn't look weird with it. I mean... She looks weird regardless, but it's a different story. Ma! What's the item finder? Is it in this station? Is it you? Ah, it was you! Yeah, gimme, bitch. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, I know how it works. You don't think too much about wings and tail placements, huh? I like when outfits are designed with those in mind. Usually it's just like a spot in the cloth. Yeah, I'm grabbing the leftovers from the Yukari spots. Like, I think it's cool because, like, for example, if you're doing, like, if you're doing an image of a character like Remy, I find, maybe not so much for birds, I guess mainly it's just bats, because the vampires dress in stuff that would be open back anyway. So there's that. But, like, when you do an angle from behind for, like, Remy, they have the openings for their wings. So you can see the origin point of the wings. They don't just kind of come out of the cloth. There's actually, like, opening within the outfit itself. Sometimes you get a little bit of a tail pouch, but I've never really seen that for Ron, because I feel like if you give Ron a tail pouch, you're just removing a huge chunk of the ass of her clothes. So, maybe don't. Wing placements on the head like Guacama, I think more like horns. Which, that's another thing. Horns? Dude. Horns would look so weird if the character was bald. My god. Like, you can see it on, like, guys. Like, male characters. But, like, bald characters... Like, imagine Yuma. Imagine Yuma's horns, but Yuma's bald. And just think about that, right? Like Suika. Suika's horns, but Suika's bald. Now, Yugi, you can see her horn coming right out of her fucking forehead. So that's an exception, I suppose. It would still look weird if she was bald. But then, if she was bald, she would just be the horned imp. I'm a security guard. Wait, I can't go in? Why not? Don't tell me I have to fight Koga. Damn, man, I thought you would just move out of my fucking way. I wonder if I can do this right now. These guys might be too high level. I'll give it a shot. I'm just gonna do this one at a time. Hooah! I don't have a lot of experience with drawing horns because there's not a lot of characters in Touhou who have them. Off the top of my head, Suika and Yugi. And Yuma. But Yugi's horn's like unique. Because it just comes out of her forehead. It's not like animal ears for her. Like, animal-wise, I think it might just be Yuma, right? Moko. Moko-tan. Fire the mud bomb. It'd be great to have earth power for Koga. Urami has horns. Ha! Urami. Ha 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 ha. Chiari? Doesn't Chiari have a horn like Yugi's though, just protruding out of her head? Yashie has antlers. No, she's got antlers. I can't think of any other aspects. Like, some characters have wings, but sometimes I just don't draw them. Why, you ask? Because, frankly, they're a pain in the ass to draw, and they're usually out of focus, so I just don't fucking draw them. Wings are tough. Wings are really tough. There's something very delicate about their shape, but also not delicate about their shape, so it's really easy to get it wrong. I got no real confidence in them. And then you got Flan. Oh god, Flan's wings, dude. Don't like those. Those are not that bad, admittedly, comparatively. I think it's because you're only drawing, like, I don't even know what to call it. The structure of the wings. You're just drawing the structure of the wings. Like, the wing shape. You're not drawing any feathers, you're not drawing any webbing. You're just drawing, like, fucking gems. But if you're doing rendering, those gems are... Oh. Goodness. If you're rendering, those gems can be, so some people make them look a little too nice. Pisses me off. Too good. Alright. Doesn't Chiari, it's just horn at the top of her head like a reptile. Well, she is definitely gross, so that doesn't really shock me. But again, forehead horn is it's pretty different from side horns. Though admittedly, I can't think of a lot of examples of side horns in general. Usually it's animal girls, and by animal girls it's usually cat girls or wolf girls. Kinda in that order. Like, Arg, take your shoes off. Oh, okay. I don't know. I wonder what the most, like, popular, I suppose, is. Because obviously you have cats, foxes, and wolves. Those are probably the big three. If I had to guess, cat girls are probably number one, followed by foxes, followed by wolves. But is there any other animal that is, like, very represented? Because foxes are a big part of, like, Japanese mythology. And then cats and dogs are cats and dogs. Well, dog being wolf in this case, I suppose. But yeah. Horses? That's... I don't think that's a fair thing to say. I know that Uma Musume is pretty much the only one doing horse girls, and the whole thing is horse girls, so there's a very large sample size there. You're not wrong about that. But at the same time, I don't think that series alone is what is like able to peddle an entire archetype of animal girl into such a massive, like, this is done everywhere. This is just one. This is kind of just one thing. Can you give me a horse girl and anything that isn't Uma Musume? Saki. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I walked into that one. That's on me. I didn't set the bar high enough. Oh well. She's more of a Pegasus. You're never gonna fucking believe what a Pegasus is. You're never gonna believe this. Let me break your fucking mind right now. It's a horse with wings! I want a unicorn. Holy shit! Let's get a unicorn Touhou. Blink. I did 84. I almost fucking died. I give up. Fuck you, Mike. I'm out of here. The Centaur Girl. Yeah, you're talking about the one from that one series, the one called Daily Life of Centaur Girl. It's right in the title. But those are like monster girls. It's different. You know, monster girls are different. Monster girls range from like Halloween party cosplay to she looks like she fucks human men, boys. Like you can get pretty far in the scale for that one. Sometimes it's just like ears and a tail, and sometimes it is nearly full anthro. Or like half of the body is just straight up the creature, and then the other half is a scantily clad woman. These are the rules. Yeah. Get your permits ready. Grunt, I am the karate master. I think it just depends on your tolerance to it. Like, if you look at Monster Musume, for example, because I think Monster Musume is probably the most culturally relevant like Monster Girl designs. I know there's the Monster Girl Encyclopedia, and there's also other pieces of media that are older that are still, you know. I'm gonna die, but it's okay. But like Lamia's, for example, Lamia's are pretty consistent design. It's a woman, and then the legs turn into a snake tail. I lived. I'm bouncing. Get out of there, Lilith. Bird girls are interesting. Because, well, I mean, I guess it's because Poppy is a harpy, but her arms are her wings. Okay, alright. Encore was not the play. Yeah, I'm dead. Goodbye, Lily. Alright. That's fine. But bird girls usually just, they usually just have wings, but sometimes they have special ears, right? Some bird girls have special ears that I don't really understand what they are, to be honest with you, but I get. You have a focus ban? Oh, well, good thing you're burned, because that'd be really annoying. Ching. Mermaids. There's a mermaid that exists in, there is a mermaid that exists in Touhou. There's a dog girl in Monster Musume, right? Isn't she a kobold? I believe you're water earth, so I think grass is super effective against you. But just in case something bad happens, yeah, okay, I made the right call. Just in case something bad happened. Oh, how did you miss? The fuck? Alright, well. Take a nap. Should have did sleep powder first, I suppose. Whatever. Monka Giga! Oh, she just died anyway. No, I think she's a kobold. I can't remember, but she's like... She's very anthropomized. Like, she's human shaped, but she's got like a snout and shit. Burn powder? What is burn powder? Wait. Willow? Okay. Ancient power is 120 power, 88 accuracy, special attack. That's no longer ancient power. That's a different move entirely. Indeed, I have lost, but I beseech you, do not take her emblem as your trophy. I will give you a prize, Lunare and Bonica. Choose whichever one you like. Okay. I guess I gotta go back to Fuchsia. I gotta go back to Fuchsia. Well, they also have a Dullahan. I mean, we also have a Dullahan. I like Dullahans a lot, conceptually. Although when I was a kid, things that didn't have heads used to freak me the fuck out. Like, really badly. Guess we'll go back to Fuchsia the long way. But I like Dullahans because I like the aspect of their heads. I don't know how to phrase this, but that's seeming weird. I like the aspect of their portable heads. It makes them a creative type of character for sure. That can be in situations that are wholly unique to their abilities. I think that's fascinating. You can hold her head while the body holds you. It's the perfect feeling. All right, did I get all these guys? I think so. The double spoon. Oh, I did miss one. Let Iku electrify you. You can hug her head while she hugs you. Isn't that great? I've seen a picture like that. But you can also just carry her head around. You know, you can just hold her head. It's like a stuffed animal. You be careful with it, but you know. Let's just flame wheel. Let's just flame wheel. Pow pow. Wonder if I should spend my money. There's also the zombie girl. Her body is like stitched up. The zombie girls are always kind of weird. Always kind of weird. Everybody's got their favorites. Is there a dinosaur? You know about dinosaur girls? I mean, I guess dragon girls are up there, right? Maybe dragon girls are in the top 5 because dragons. Everybody loves dragons. Okay. I'm the moved leader. Okay. I would assume dragons are somewhere. Somewhere up there. Dragons are very common in fantasy and whatnot anyway. And then humanizing them... You know. You know how she goes. You know how she goes. Are there any really unique standout animal type girls? I don't really know, I don't really know a lot of, what is that? Oh, it's a Moko. Well, I was gonna say, I don't know a lot of squirrel girls, but there is a squirrel girl. Newly found race and evolution. There's the Marvel's squirrel girl, but there's Makoto Nanaya as well. She's like the only example of a squirrel girl. It's like, really? A squirrel? Isn't that kind of weird? Oh, I forgot about bunny girls. Oh, man. I completely forgot about bunny girls. That's probably in the top 5, right? Oh. This is the evolution theme. Trainer tips! Fuck off. Do you remember your way to the Safari Zone, streamer? Huh. Yeah. No. Oh. Okay. No? She's watching carefully? I don't think she is, actually. Target secure. She's dead? She's doll. One Alice's doll is more powerful than the Shanghai doll. They both evolve into the same, they evolve into the same thing, but I think... I don't know if the stats are different based on that, or if it's just their level. I don't know. But they do both evolve into... Oh my god, Yuka! Wake up! She's watching carefully. She can't even fucking wake up. Alice kind of fucked up her dolls too, the whole concept. Man. She's fine. She'd just be existing. Also, the OG Alice design was pretty heavily inspired by Alice from SMT. And that Alice is, yeah. Why? Do you hate me? Throw a rock at her. No. Okay. All right. Sunny day. Full restore. Who are you? Good at me. Alright, get in the ball. Get in the ball. What? Do you think you're better than me? Get in the ball! Oh, no good. This is not good. I'm gonna glorp. Dude. I don't know, dude. There's like 70 videos on the internet about how the Safari Zone lies to you, to a point where I don't know what to believe anymore. If I throw a rock at her, it just makes her angry. It doesn't make her catch rate better. I don't know. That never made sense to me. You throw bait, they're harder to catch, but they stay longer. You throw a rock, they're easier to catch, but they fucking run. When you know the odds for Safari Zone stuff, when I look at Chansey, I realize that Chansey was Never meant to be in human hands. I know its name. I know it's supposed to be a... like, that's the whole point of the fucking asshole, but, like... Fucking Jesus, dude. That Pokemon's catch rate. That Pokemon's run chance. That Pokemon's spawn chance. Louis. Dragonair has a 50% chance of running on turn 1. Why would anyone know that? That would imply that you sat there and super rotted for a 1% Dragonair. Safari Zone has too many cool Pokemon that are just, like, miserable to catch. And then it has some Pokemon that shouldn't be in the Safari Zone exclusively, like Rhyhorn. Oh my god, Stinky! What are you doing here? I just clicked the ball. I hate going in the Safari Zone, because if I found a shiny in the Safari Zone and I failed to catch it, I would probably cry. Stinky! Well, I'll have to come back for her. Steel Wing? I doubt that's good. Protein. Are the areas... Do the areas have different encounter tables, or is everything just fucking findable? I know that's a silly question, but I don't know how this works. Like, I'm pretty sure in the actual Safari Zone, almost every Pokemon was readily available in every zone. It was just a matter of, it was just a matter of percentage. Some areas had better chances for others. But, like, Rhyhorn is a tragic Pokemon because Rhyhorn takes too fucking long to evolve, and you don't catch one until the Safari Zone. And at that point in the game, it's like, I'm not putting this dude on my team. Rhyhorn should evolve earlier and be earlier. Because a lot of the other Pokemon you get are just like extensions of Pokemon you could get prior. Paris, Nidorino, Nidorina. Not Doduo, I guess. But honestly, why the fuck would you want Doduo at that point either? You probably have Spearow, you probably have Pidgey, you might even have Farfetch. But you get fucking Doduo and you're like, oh my god, it's another normal flying type. Each area has different puppets based on PC98. Oh, so I'm in Touhou 5 right now. I guess that makes sense. So the area before this was Touhou 4. Stinky. Stinky has a 5% catch rate. If I run into another one, I'm safe stating then. How's that sound? The gold teeth. Double team. I still have half my steps left. 45% chance to flee each turn. Who designed this? Do you hate the player when you do shit like this? Not everything has to be reminiscent of how it was back in the old days, because the old days sucked too. Don't pay homage to shit that sucked. It just makes your shit suck too. I hate that. My god. Right, don't waste steps. You may go. I probably shouldn't have thrown that ball. Okay. Alright, now that I have your family, let's look for Stinky. Not Stinky. Not Stinky. Same shit when I play a Mega Man fan game, my guy. Same shit. They love replicating the worst aspects. That's Ditto. I don't have enough balls to fuck around with that, but that's Ditto. I'm looking for Stinky. Sarah? The fuck would I want you for? I'm trying to micromanage my steps, because you can get encounters like this, and you don't actually use your steps like this. Luis. What if I find a shiny? Well, I'll just save state, because I can do that. But what if they run on the first turn? Then I guess I'll just die. But you're telling me she's a 2% encounter? How is that possible? I found her twice. Huh? I found her twice. She was the first encounter in here. What do you mean she's a 2%? She's right there. Alright. Uh-huh. 5% chance to catch, huh? You're out of Safari Balls. It's game over. Throw a rock at her. Yeah. She's angry. Oh. Okay. Welcome to the team. Maybe we can catch one of those Kadamas for convenience. Alright. Ball. Wow. Alright. Oh, you're out of Safari Balls! Get the fuck out of here. Did you catch your fair share? I think I did. I still don't have enough for the 40 kinds in the art book. I didn't see Mai in there. You sure she isn't a rare encounter? An extremely rare Bonica. Beeper. Beeper, 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 beeper. Did you try Safari Game? There's some rare Bonica in there. Yeah, I tried. I gotta go to the Pokemon Center. Dun 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 dun. Alright, let's look at the stats. What the hell is that? A bookshelf. Hodai, 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 hodai. Bold nature. Great. Attack down, defense up. That's what she needs. Great. Quirky! I see. Lax. Alright. Wall of ice. Heat and cold protection. Cool. Stick that. She has an item. A witch costume. Adamant nature. What the fuck? She's throwing hands! But that's all she can do. That's all she can do. Hey, she's got a held item. That's something. So I'll take that off of her. But that's really unfortunate. Gentle? Yeah, no. Oh. Jolly. Oh, Sinky. 2! Wow. 2 speed. Gentle again. Yeah. Yeah, you're just ditto. You can't do daycare until 4 Island. There's no eggs in Fire Red and Leaf Green until 4 Island, so that's just shit out of luck. It's not like anything I have has fucking synchronized. It's like, but I keep rolling the worst fucking natures ever. Why is my Alice jacked? Why does she punch people? I don't understand. Her special attack IV is also really high, but her nature's bad for it. Alright, I got the witch costume. That's for wind type moves. It's for reason type moves. Okay. It's not bad. Not a bad type. What? Let's get this. My gold teeth. You didn't clean these, did ya? Uh-huh. Pretty sure that's just a dream type move, right? Scroll. Mayre's attack. Yeah? I mean, why not? It's not bad. It's basically double kick. Double kick has potential to do more. It can break stuff, but it's still not really a move you want to be using. Strength is good. Alright, I'm not surprised, but that's inconvenient. Lily can fly. Okay, alright. Alright, okay. Sunny day. I do have Psychic. No one can learn Psychic. Is my team ass? I'm starting to think my team is ass. Use Strength. Smiling. Rare candy. How can my team be ass? I guess we're here now. This seems like I just gotta have to click dig a bunch of times and hope nothing has levitate. Oh. I feel like people forget this trainer a lot because they know to go to the right, and then they see him on the way to Koga, and they're like, oh, there's a guy there. Well, too late for that. I have 2 Earth types, so if I if I do double duty with Kane and Yamame, I should be okay, but you never know. Toxic grass. I should go take a look at the Celadon department store and see if they're selling something to increase the strength of my Earth type moves. That might be good. It would be better if they sold Earthquake, but Dig's still 90 base power. It's strong, it just, you know, the whole 2-turn thing makes it feel like a bad move. Because in a player versus player scenario, a 2-turn move is really bad. I do have leftovers. I have 2 leftovers, and if I was gonna give leftovers to anybody, I would want it to be Shizuha and Lily. Those are kind of like my defensive walls. Sunny dies to, like, she fucking dies to a funny look, so, yeah. Okay. So, flying is convenient, but so is this button. Okay. There you go. Fly is reliable stab. I disagree. It doesn't have 100% accuracy, which makes it ass. I fucking don't understand why Fly needs to have like 85 accuracy. Or maybe that's bounce. Either way, it's not a guarantee to hit, which is dumb. Sonic Boom, Dig. Brick Break, Secret Power, Attract. I don't think I need any of those. I think I'm good. You don't sell anything. We're gonna go to counter 4, because counter 4 is where the stones are usually sold. Alright. Native type moves. Fire type moves. Water type. Faith type. Reason type. Heart type. Okay. I'm gonna buy this. Oh, I could buy one of these. It costs way too much. Never mind, I'm not buying that. It's not gonna be helpful. Sunny has Flame Wheel. Just take me down to the first floor. That's not the first floor. There you go. The problem is that there's really no good flying type attack. A lot of them suck or have drawbacks. Like, Air Slash is 75-90. It's special, though, so, you know. Air Cutter. Pfft. Let's not get crazy. Hold on, I'm here anyway, so... I'm pretty sure I'm not remembering this wrong. Nope. Nope, okay. I thought there was something there. There is the random nest of netballs to his sides. I don't know what that's about. So it's just where he's standing in his gym. But it's the Macho Brace. Macho Brace is basically the prototype to EV gain items. It doesn't focus on one stat, it just kind of gives it for everything. Or for anything, I guess. But it's worse. It's worse than the individual items, but it's free. That's the difference. Power items, you need to spend BP on them in later games. HMs suck because HMs are never really allowed to be real moves. Like, ROM hacks and stuff make HMs actual, like, viable moves to use, so, you know, it doesn't feel like a waste to have them. But in normal Pokemon, Cut is like 60 base power and 95 accuracy. It's really bad. Strength is 80 base power and 100 accuracy, which isn't that bad, but it's a normal type move. And at the point in the game you get strength, you don't need strength for anything. You're not clicking that move. The only HM that's really good is Surf, because Surf is just a high-power water attack. Like, that's your best one. Now, obviously, down the line, Waterfall would become viable, because Waterfall got the physical special split, so it became... Okay. Well, this is awkward. Okay, well, if she digs a hole, then I'll dig a hole to follow. Hey. Hey. None of that. There it is, okay. Flinching is one of the worst mechanics in Pokemon. That is just flat out as it is. But Waterfall, genuinely, Waterfall was not, like... It wasn't really worth it. The only reason you would use Waterfall over Surf is, well, aside from the obvious that you need Waterfall to progress, is if you wanted a single target move. If you wanted a single target move in doubles, because Surf's power cut in Gen 3 was quite bad. So Waterfall was better in that environment, but in a single battle, they both virtually did the same thing. I don't even think Waterfall had a chance to flinch until Gen 4. I think that was either a Gen 3 edition or a Gen 4 edition, but in Gen 4, yeah, it became a physical move and it became a very reliable stab option for a lot of Pokemon. Because the other fucking physical water move that Pokemon got was Aqua Tail, which had 10 higher base power at the cost of 10 lower accuracy and no secondary effect. Like, why does Aqua Tail have 90 base accuracy? What's the point of that? Sometimes it feels like Sometimes it feels like Pokemon like stats just randomly get they just kind of randomly get fucking roulette wheeled on what their specs actually are. Never forget the move Slam. One of the worst moves in the entirety of Pokemon, because it is fully intended to be a move that you click unironically. But it is a move that is so miserably bad that it just doesn't make sense. Why is it so bad? I don't understand. Somebody please tell me. Waterfall was Seeking signature move. Yeah, but nobody cares about Seeking. Seeking sucks. Seeking is just a fish. He's literally just a fish. You know what, though? Seeking kind of popped off in the future when it got Lightning Rod. That was a pretty cool aspect to that Pokemon's design. Didn't do anything much for Seeking as itself, but it's still cool that it had that ability. But that's the kind of thing that I think Pokemon need to really stand out from each other. Because there's a lot of Pokemon, especially for types like Water and Flying, where there's so much overlap that there's almost always a bigger fish. Haha, see what I did there? So having a couple that randomly stand out like that is pretty cool. Even if their stats are mediocre, they fill possible niches that do separate them from others. That's a good aspect of abilities, when abilities aren't being really dumb. But, like, legitimately, like Seadra, Seeking, there's a lot of water types, and obviously Seadra and Seeking are pretty different, all things considered. But, like, you want to talk about water types that are really, like, different, I guess that'd be Gyarados. Gyarados is the most standout because A, it comes from Magikarp, and B, it has no good flying stab at all. It literally doesn't learn anything flying type in Gen 1. It's a flying type. And its stab option is special. Yet somehow, despite these obvious things working against Gyarados, it manages to be a relevant Pokemon. Now, the physical special split did make Gyarados one of the best Pokemon in Gen 4, of course. Gengar is a good example. Gengar is an interesting Pokemon because both of its stab options are also physical, but it's consistently been a good Pokemon since Gen 1. It has a very diverse move pool, and it has amazing utility because they refuse to make ghost types. Even, like, Gengar is very impressive. He has a very good resume. He does. It's funny because in Gen 2, Gengar would run moves like Submission. Or he could run moves like Submission because it could hit normal types really hard. Like, Submission coming off Gengar's attack stat is not doing much. But it can do something. He can do it in Gen 3 as well. I don't know if he learns Focus Flash or Focus Punch, but I don't need that. I don't know if he learns Focus Punch, but I know that in Gen 3 he can carry fighting type coverage because he can hit Tyrantars. Because Tyranitar is one of those checkmate situations where you're getting pursued no matter what you do, so you're dead. But sometimes, you know, if you catch the switch in, like Gen 3 has a lot of common counters and checks that you end up speccing your team around to kind of catch them by surprise. And also, Blissey is one of the most common Pokemon, and if Blissey switches into a Focus Punch, even on a bad attack stat, it probably fucking explodes. He does in a Gen 3 set, no you. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, Gengar has always been a good Pokemon. And when he gained access to Stab Shadow Ball and Stab Sludge Bomb with the special stat, I wouldn't say it like made him even like better. Obviously it makes him better because now he can run his stabs off his good stats. But like he was still always a good Pokemon. And then Gen 6 gave him a Mega where he was a 170 base special attack Pokemon with Shadow Tag. Oh man. Dude. Gengar was like, so, waiter, I cannot eat another bite. And then the waiter came out and was like, congratulations, you're our 1,000th customer. Here's another prime fucking steak. Here's another prime steak for you, sir. And Gengar was like, well, if you insist. Like, bro is eaten. Gengar had been eaten. Gengar had been eaten for years. And then Gen 7 rolled around, and then the waiter was like, your bill, sir. And Gengar realized he couldn't pay. Oh, Gengar realized he couldn't pay. So they put him to work as a busboy. And he's still working that loan off to this day. He's doing dishes. He's been doing dishes. To be honest, I don't think that Gengar really needed to lose Levitate. What the hell? Oh, bye. I don't think Gengar really needed to lose Levitate. There are very, very few instances in Pokemon where a Pokemon's ability has been completely changed. In fact, the only one I can think of off the top of my head is Chandelure. Chandelure, his original hidden ability was supposed to be Shadow Tag, but before Chandelure could legally be obtained with its hidden ability, his hidden ability was changed to Infiltrator. I think the legendary beasts also all had their abilities changed, if I remember correctly. Like, they had, like, Volt Absorb, Water Absorb, and Flash Fire, but then they all had Inner Focus. I don't remember if that's correct. Someone's gonna have to Google that real quick and then come in here and tell me that I'm a fucking idiot. I'll give you the stage. I'm okay with it because that motherfucker's not levitating. Well, it's just, I don't think that Gengar necessarily needed to be, you know, reined in like that. I don't think he needed to lose Levitate. He was originally a poison type, I guess, because they wanted him to be weak to something, because Ghost wasn't inherently weak to anything. Like, at all. But then they gave him Levitate, and then he was only... But at that point, Dark existed, and Ghosts was now, like, a real offensive type, kind of? Empoleon had its ability changed to competitive. Oh, right, because Empoleon had Defiant, didn't it? Yeah. Empoleon had Defiant as a hidden ability, so they decided to give it the special attack version, which it should have been anyway. Okay. You're right on the beast's ability. That's a weird change. I don't think there would be anything wrong with the legendary beasts having those as abilities. If anything, I think it would have been cool if they had them, because those abilities would line up to Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. And a very old believed theory is that those three Pokemon rose from the Burnt Tower. And that's because they were originally those three Pokemon. Now, we do know that, like, these Pokemon don't exist as a singularity. Like, Entei's Pokedex description is straight up just like, every time a volcano was born, an Entei is born alongside. I get that, but I think that was probably the idea, but then they just decided to go against it. Hoo-ha, I am Koga. Some Pokemon had their abilities nerfed. Talonflame and Kangaskhan had their abilities, specifically Mega Kangaskhan. Their abilities got nerfed. Oh... This isn't good. Glade had Steadfast swapped out for Sharpness in Gen 9, which now puts in awkward situation champions because the Mega retains Inner Focus. Huh. This is not a good lead matchup. If I switch, I'm dead. See how much this does, I guess. Like, Parental Bond got a massive power reduction. Well, that's a grass type move, Energy Light. That's like Energy Ball. Not bad. That's lucky. As long as I break Confusion for 2 turns, we'll be okay. Win the coin toss, Kane. Now the question boils down to, can Sunny Oko? Sunny will probably die to a poison move no matter what, so she's not very helpful in this fight. But if she can at least do something... If she can hit medicine once, then Kane can kill. Ah! I wish you had flamethrower, you fucker. Thing gonna kill. Oh, that was a crit. Poison point. Okay. Poison bomb. Now here's the problem. You lived, so I get a free turn to attack, right? Problem is, I get a free turn to attack. But if I dig, then I don't really get to use that free turn at all. Oh. Okay. Alright, Mailing. You got it. Spider Yam. Oh, I'm faster than it. Wow. I'm not wait! That means it'll go first now and it won't hit me. Yep, it won't hit me. It has a grass type move. Die. Nice. Ultra headbutt. Ultra headbutt. Tiparsi. Oh god, wait. Tiparsi is, she might be weak to something that Mailing has. I didn't realize Mailing was the fucking sleeper pick here. Wow. Okay. Shadow Ball, Mailing, you can take that. You're the best. Oh my god, Mailing! She's so powerful! Wow. Shrumia. Okay, alright, okay. I think what we do... I want to set up a Leech Seed on her. So I'm gonna do this. She has Levitate, so I can't hit her with ground moves. Okay, yes, that's perfect. Lily, if you break this, then she has to Confuse Ray. She just has to Confuse Ray. Do it. Okay. She can only use Poison Bomb now. Not really what I want, but whatever. Who's resistant to poison? Kane is. This is a good time for Kane. Oh, wait. If she can only Poison Bomb, I can paralyze her. I can paralyze her. Remember, she has Levitate, so this is just gonna use up full heals. Never mind, I'm not gonna hit her. This will give me a chance to put a Leech Seed on her, because she won't be faster than anything anymore. Yep. Oh, okay, alright. No more, alright. Excellent. Her encore ended. That's fine. So yeah. All we can do is click Pursuit and chip damage her. Which doesn't do very much, but... that's fine. This, I'd rather have encored her into that, because that would have been a lot better. But now I have a shot at hitting her with Leech Seed. And then, you know, going from there. Dark Pulse. Alright. It's a start. Flamethrower. You got all kinds of moves, don't ya? Huh, Smokey? Flamethrower, Dark Pulse, Confuse Ray, Poison Bomb. Alright, Shizuha, it is fucking imperative that you do not miss this Leech Seed. Good. Good. Alright, well, that doesn't matter. We hit the Leech Seed. He still has a Hyper Potion, so it's not done yet. But we're in a very, very good position. That keeps happening, but I keep breaking out of confusion the following turn. So it's like, I don't know if I should be mad or fine. Like, I don't know if I'm allowed to be angry about that. Right. Alright. Like, that happened 3 times in a row. Once I hit her in a potion range, I'm probably gonna switch. Poison Bomb. I might just die, but I think Shizuha's tougher than that. Yeah. Kane is weak to Flamethrower. I don't know if that's potion range. Okay. If that was a crit, that would have been game. Alright, well done, Shizuha. Well done, well done. She should be weak to cut, but again, I'm weak to Flamethrower. Or I'm neutral to it because of Earth, I don't know. That doesn't matter. This isn't gonna kill her. And he's gonna use a Hyper Potion, so... yeah, okay, here we go. There's the Hyper. There's the Hyper, there's the Hyper. How much does this do? Is that 2-hit KO? That is a 2-hit KO? Wow. Alright, we were overcomplicating the shit out of this one, huh? But better safe than sorry. Dead. Granted, if I just switched into Kane raw, Kane might have been outsped, and Kane probably would have died, so... it took, we took a couple detours in that fight, but... I'm honestly shocked that Mei Ling was kind of the hero of that match. Not only did she 2-hit KO Medicine, but she fucking smacked Parsi up. And I don't know what I was gonna do about Parsi. And Yam, Kane got Yam. Kane got Yam easily. Because Kane went underground, and then... like, it didn't really matter that he tailwinded, I suppose, but in the event that Dig didn't kill there, like, well, it was probably still gonna be bad because I would have taken a hit on the next attack anyway. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Either way, it's done. We did it. We won. So what comes next? Probably Silphco, but we do now have access to Surf. So we need to get a Pogi that can... do we have a Pogi that can surf? Wait, do any of these guys surf? I forgot I have another box. Who surfs in this goddamn game? Do you surf? I need to see if you can surf. I can't go anywhere without surf. You do surf! Here. Alright. We got the Gussie boat. Okay, let's go to the secret forest now. Let's check it out. Mei Ling the hero, man. I wasn't expecting that. I just, you know, the dream type is few and far between of its benefits, but wow, it can certainly bail you out of a bad spot. Welcome to the forest. Anybody know this music? Maybe it's in the music room. Alright. Surf music. I forgot that we would have water encounters. Where you going, streamer? There's a frog in front of me. Wow. Oh. Burn. Let's go see what's in here. There might be a legendary Pogi. That's alright. You'll be fine. I'm gonna start throwing balls. And if you get caught, it's your own fault. I have no balls. I need to leave and get more balls. Okay. None of that funny business. I gotta leave and get more, but before I do that, I want to check out more of this area. One of the kami. Don't you love when they use, like, Japanese words intermittently? Because I guess the English word is just not cool enough to use. She's one of the kami. You mean gods? Yeah, kami means god. Then say god. Orin! Wait! There's crins in here! Oh, shit! Unless this grass is, like, separate. He's a high level, actually. Alright. Time to start throwing balls. Yeah! Got her. Now I have 40. I can get that guy. Feline yokai lives deep in the ground, often carrying away corpses in her wheelbarrow. I'm sure she's not doing that. Not her. No, this grass is the same as everywhere else. So just Orin was in here the whole time. I just never found one. Cool. Orin's one of the few, well, I would say few, but she's definitely one of the ones, she's definitely a puppet that I don't think I've ever used in any real capacity. Okay, so that's obviously where we want to go, up that spire, but we need to go buy some more, stuff. Like, some puppets I've used in early game and swapped them out. Some puppets I've used more than once in different forms. But I don't think I've ever gotten the chance to use Orin, and that's mainly because she never shows up at a point in the game where I can use her. Or when I catch her, she sucks! So I can't use her after all. Like, that is the only real benefit, you could say, to, like, IVs, is it encourages you to use things that aren't, you know, usually what you'd use, because, they have good stats. But to that I say no, because I want to use certain things that I know are good, and when their natures are bad, then you just go out, you have to go catch another one. Calm. See what I mean? I've died. Yosei. What does that mean? Nothing. It means nothing. Don't worry about it. They sell hard orbs. Hado. Alright. I'm gonna buy 30. Because I don't want to buy any more. And that's the only reason. There we go. I have 30 hard orbs now. There's only one lunatic orb in existence. Man, isn't the Master Ball an interesting item in Pokemon? In the original games, the Master Ball is a prototype Pokeball being designed by Silphco. It's a Pokeball that never fails. But I'm sure you can understand from a business acumen why selling a Pokeball that never fails like that it would be really good, but also not good. Oh, you're not the right guy. Like, you'd have to buy multiple balls, of course, but the balls would either be jacked up price-wise, but they're guaranteed to catch, unless you're the Wish Cash guy from the anime. But then in later games, the Master Ball is just something that you either get from somebody or you find. Like in Gen 2, Professor Elm gives it to you when you finish all the gyms in Johto. In Gen 3, you have to find it in the Aqua base. What the fuck is Team Aqua doing with a Master Ball? Gen 4, I've already forgotten where you get the Master Ball. Wait, doesn't Cyrus give it to you? Or am I crazy? I'm pretty sure Cyrus gives it to you after the Team Galactic hideout, right? And he says something like he has no need for that. Because he's cool, he's too cool. Gen 5, I don't remember where you get that one either. But yeah, the Master Ball is an item that is... You really can't have too many of them. I don't have Rock Smash. You get Rock Smash from the islands. Are you kidding me, dude? I came all this way just to get told to turn around. Guess I should have checked. Well. Whatever, bro. Whatever. I ain't mad. The only one who's mad is you, chat member. You're mad. Because I've wasted your time and mine. But you care about the time you wasted, and you care about the time that I've wasted at the same time. Where was the guy who wanted 40? Was he up here? Where the fuck was he? Kyokuto, want to trade one from my Toyohime? No? Yeah, the only way to get a Master Ball is through Lotto. Which is, you know, that's why it's so rare. I never really used my Master Balls. I always actively avoided using them. Because I would always save them for the event that I found a shiny. And it was a shiny that was probably going to run away. I would always save it for that. Alright. We're heading to Cinnabark. I tried diving for Bonica, but it was a no-go. Use them on legendaries because I'm lazy. Well, that's what they want you to use them on, is legendaries. It's convenient for that reason. But I'm more afraid of a shiny. I'm more afraid of running into a shiny that is gonna, like, explode or something. Like, Chad, if you ran into a shiny Abra, would you throw a Master Ball at it? I think I would probably, like... I would probably wrestle with myself for a little bit about it. And then throw it because I was afraid. I always keep it just in case. Shiny Abra sucks, so no. Yeah, but it's a shiny. It's a shiny. I ran into a shiny Cheery while testing and it roared. You know the answer to that is to remove that from her move pool, right? Because if that happens to me, I will cry. Or not, I don't give a shit. Who the fuck is Cheery? Raikou used Roar. It disappeared forever. Ooh, sorry about that. Why save scum? I like how you guys are talking like you're playing on emulator. That's where we've come. My theoretical here assumes that you're playing on actual hardware. But you're like, no, I'm obviously playing on a fucking emulator, bro. You're playing on an emulator, who gives a fuck about a shiny? You can turn on a fucking cheat code by going click, 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 and then everything's shiny. I'm talking about real, untampered hardware. Go-to shiny situation is a quick ball. My go-to anything situation is a quick ball. It's just specifically with a Pokemon that you know is capable of prematurely ending the battle. Like, aren't you, and you have a Master Ball, aren't you, like, afraid? I'm afraid with legendaries because with legendaries, sometimes I crit them and they die, or I weaken them and don't catch them and then they struggle and kill themselves. So there's no guarantee. So that's why I want a Master Ball in case we just have such a massive string of bad luck that the thing fucking kills itself with struggle. Hmm. I wish Giga Drain was an Oko because I'm running out of PP. Hmm. You always save for legendary anyways. That... What? What? Yeah, there's no setting up a save file before a shiny. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I'm saying if this situation happens and you're staring down the barrel of a shiny Pokemon and they kill themselves, well, fuck, man. I hope you're ready to sit there and go for another set of rotations. Because that motherfucker is not going to be shiny again for a long time. Master Ball is the only guarantee you have to catch him. Dude, it just doesn't kill them. It just does not kill them. Burn Powder. That's a great one you got there. You cannot kill me. I know Emerald version had an issue where, like, wait, is it possible to actually set up a save file in front of a shiny in Emerald? Because in Emerald, the way that RNG is, like, checked for a legendary... Oh, good. The way that RNG is checked for a legendary is, like, in the same room you're in, right? So, if you actually rolled a shiny in Emerald version, would it always be shiny as long as you don't leave the room? You'd have to already know it's shiny, though. Yeah. Enter the encounter on the same frame. Oh. Glub. Glub? I see. That sounds like a hassle. I feel bad for anybody shiny hunting on that game. Though it only really applies to, like, legendaries and static encounters, doesn't it? Like, shiny hunting in Emerald is probably... Isn't it fine as long as you're not dealing with static encounters? Isn't that how that go? Good bird. Mmm, yum. Alright, let's Sonic Boom. Pew. Have you ever seen, like, a shiny hunter stream, chat? Some of them I've seen, I think they're really funny. Because they got the most, like, fucking Hacker Man setup. Where they just got, like... They got, like, 4 different DSs, 4 different captures, 4 different games running, and they're all looking in the same spot, hoping for a hit. Like, they got that shit in the factory, the factory assemblation. Like, they just be looking for a shiny. It's funny. I've seen the Battle Revolution shiny outfit search. Oh, the shiny Groudon outfit? I don't remember how to get that, but I do remember watching at least one video regarding it, but that was a long time ago. But I know what you're talking about. Battle Revolution is unfortunately not a very great game. It's a shame to say. Some people had the wrong idea of Battle Revolution going in. They thought it was some kind of sequel to XD because it was 3D, but it was more or less... Battle Revolution was more or less a 3D simulator for your DS Pokemon battles. And to be fair, it was actually pretty solid for that purpose. The single-player content, I think, left a lot to be desired. And I say that because I don't remember the single-player content, which would lead me to believe that, yes, it did in fact leave some to be desired. Set one up so we can see what it's like. You probably could. All you would have to do is run multiple windows you would have to run multiple windows of an emulator, right? Capture them all individually and just set them so they all run even when clicked out. And if you do that, then every single one of them will read the same inputs, and you can just kind of just run back and forth like that. And if you all run in the same, you know, you can increase your odds, so to speak, by just increasing the sample size that you see. Yeah, Battle Revolution is like, some people thought it was supposed to be the next game in the XD Coliseum series. Some people probably thought it was going to be like Pokemon Stadium 3. And it was closer to Pokemon Stadium, but it was not really, wasn't really Pokemon Stadium. I think it's a shame. There were some Pokemon you could get in that. You could get Electivire and Magmodar with some cool egg moves, but Electivire and Magmodar kinda suck. That's all I have to say about that. I don't think that Battle Revolution was inherently a bad idea. I just think that its main, I'd say its main purpose, I guess, is to be a simulator for connecting, you know, your DS games so you have 3D battles like that. I think it was mainly for that. Because didn't they use Battle Revolution for VGC tournaments in that era? That era of VGC is very, very, very undocumented. But I'm pretty sure that era, like 2014 VGC was primarily played in Battle Revolution. I wonder why they never really made anything like that again. Probably because Battle Revolution didn't do as well as they wanted. Obviously, we have Pokemon Champions. But Pokemon Champions is not that much different graphically. It's not that much different graphically from, like, Scarlet Violet. Now, that said, there are mechanic differences in Champions that are actually very relevant. So, it is entirely possible for Champions to be the standard for competitive. But I have no idea, right? And the reason why it matters is specifically because so many different Pokemon and even just mechanics like Sleep and Freeze have been changed in Champions. So if it becomes the standard for competitive play, it will have an impact on things. That said, what about connectivity with Gen 10? Right? What happens to Pokemon Champions when Generation 10 comes out? Do they just tell you to fuck off? Hope you had fun. Thanks for giving us your money. What are they gonna do? Or do you think all the changes introduced in Champions will be in Gen 10 to begin with? Because remember, when Oraz came out and Oraz was like, hey, look at all these new Megas you get to play with. And then they were like, by the way, you can't send any Mega Stones from Oraz to XY. So there was no connectivity in that regard. You just had to buy the upgrade, which is kind of fucked up. I would assume Champions is in for the long haul, but I just wonder about connectivity going backwards. That's all. Pokemon is not really known for its good decision making, and it hasn't been for a while. What a shame. Good thing I have the Fire Grass type here. The reason they made changes is a lot of main series game changed their mechanics more drastically, keeping the competitive scene alive. There's not as many like drastic game changes in competitive or Pokemon in general. No, not really. There's different effects, cause the thing is like things like sleep paralysis, burn. I think the only status condition that's never really been changed is poison. Aside from the obvious glitches with poison in Gen 1, poison itself has not really changed ever. It's always been a consistent damage, and badly poisoned has always been a consistent overlap of damage. Paralysis has been changed. Burn has been changed. Sleep has been changed numerous times. Freeze has been changed. I don't know if Confusion has been changed. See, it plays really different from other Pokemon games. Yeah, it does. I don't think that a main series Pokemon game is going to drastically change the gameplay, though. That wouldn't make any sense to me. Because if they drastically changed the gameplay, and then they were like, hey, you want to play actual Pokemon battles? You have to go play Champions. Well, actually, now that I said it out loud, I can totally see them doing that, because that's exactly the kind of shit they would probably do. But the spin-off games are the ones that often get the chance to expand on the formula in a different way. Because Legends Arceus battling was some kind of combination of new mechanics to standard Pokemon battling, and it was definitely not the highlight of that game. ZA battling is a neat idea in theory, but I didn't really think it was that great in practice. But that's just my opinion. I'm gonna catch this little bastard. That's just my opinion. I don't think that ZA's battling was that interesting. Sometimes it really was just like, I use this move, oh, you're dead. Like, and like even just like ambushing people randomly in the fighting parts. I don't know, man. Steel type Pokemon cannot be poisoned by poison types. They can be poisoned by Twin Needle, only in Gen 2. That's the only big change. Yeah, but that's not a change to poison. That's a change to Twin Needle. That has no bearing. That doesn't really have any bearing on what poison does. And again, I guess I'm on the internet, so people love semantics. I don't think that's fair. The only thing that changed there is that a move accidentally could cause poison in a type it's not supposed to be able to. Poison itself did not change, though. Poison has always been and will always continue to be. Paralysis has changed, and like even the moves involved in those status conditions have been adjusted sometimes. Thunder Wave is a big example. Glare also got accuracy buffed at some point. Glare's a rare one. But Paralysis had its chance for... Paralysis, I believe, had its speed cut reduced a little bit. But it also had its full para chance and champions halved to 12.5. So it's rare in general to happen. Burn is a neat one. I actually think that Burn's change makes the most sense. Now, granted, I think Sleep and Freeze are badly designed. I don't think that Burn itself is badly designed, but I think that Burn's damage nerf, I think, was just a good decision because it helped differentiate Poison and Burn. Because originally, regular Poison and regular Burn did the same amount of chip damage, but Burn had the added effect of cutting the opponent's physical attack. But then they made it so the cutting the physical attack remained, but they also made it so the chip damage that you received from Burn was then cut in half. So that meant that Poison was mainly used for damage now. And what's interesting about it is that Pokemon that like using Guts and Guts-based strategies would actually run Toxic Orbs instead of Flame Orbs. Because if you didn't know, Guts ignores the damage. Guts ignores the attack penalty that comes from being burned. So you think, oh, use the Flame Orb. The reason why people would use the Toxic Orb is simply because the first turn of Toxic damage is less chip damage than a burn. So there was definitely min-maxing in that regard. But now that's not true anymore. Now Flame Orb is kind of just... Oh, Synthesis? That's a cheater move. I don't need it, though. It's too weak. That's no longer the case. I mean, it might still be the case partially, but I don't think it's the case anymore. It's kind of like why poison types pretty much exclusively run Black Sludge, because Black Sludge is leftovers for poison types. It has no difference in its healing. However, if somebody was to trick it and take it, they would then suffer from chip damage from the Black Sludge. So Black Sludge was just a directly correct choice if you were running a poison type. At least that was the case. However, in Gen 9, Pokemon don't run Black Sludge in Gen 9 anymore. And the reason for that is because terastallization. If you terastallize outside of being a poison type, you now take chip damage from your own healing item. So there's no reason to use Black Sludge anymore. Because if you're using Black Sludge, that means that A, you're not planning to terastallize, or B, your terastallized type is poison. And the strength of terastallization is that any Pokemon on the team can do it at any point. So you have 6 different Terras that you can use based on the situation you find yourself in. That's one of the biggest strengths of terastallization. It's not like a Mega Stone or a Z Crystal where you kind of have one Pokemon on the team who's going to be doing that job. Anybody on the team is capable of terraing and completely turning around a game or a situation. So to limit your terastallization abilities by using items that only work with certain types, that's a bad decision. Are there any Pokemon that strategize around inflicting regular poison instead of badly poison? They can't do that. The reason why they badly poison themselves is because Toxic Orb is the only item that lets them do that, and that is badly poisoned. The only way you could effectively poison yourself to get a Guts boost is if your opponent used Toxic Spikes, or you intentionally Toxic Spiked into a Magic Bouncer, or into a Court Change. But a strategy that involves something your opponent has to bring is not a consistent strategy. I mean, against an enemy, that's interesting to hear. Toxic Spikes, then. Toxic Spikes, usually they want to double layer to inflict badly poison, but regular poison still puts Pokemon on a timer. I'm pretty sure regular poison will kill a Pokemon in 5 or 6 turns, right? Something like that. Or, like, I don't know if it will kill them outright from that. That might be a little too crazy. But Toxic Spikes is definitely part of hazard stacking. That's part of hazard stacking stuff. And like I said, while they would prefer to have badly poisoned up, if you only get 1 layer, poison's still a perfectly fine effect to have. But poison isn't the main strategy. Oh, okay, well. Poison isn't the main strategy. The strategy is chip damage with Stealth Rocks, Spikes, and so on and so forth, right? But Toxic Spikes is a rare instance. Toxic Spikes is just a rare instance where you would want... it's something you can get on the team. You want to put it on the team, because why not? Why not? Toxic Spikes is the only hazard that can be removed without Rapid Spin, too. And, well, I get, you know, Rapid Spin adjacents, I should say. Because Toxic Spikes, if a poison type switches into Toxic Spikes, the Toxic Spikes get absorbed and pulled off the field. Which I think is actually really cool, that there is counterplay to it like that. Spikes is also interesting in that regard, because Spikes do not hit Pokemon in the air. Pokemon that flying types and Pokemon that levitate do not take Spike Chip. Like, I thought this was an interesting aspect. This was an interesting aspect of these moves. And again, they did have counterplay because there's things like Rapid Spin and whatnot. But there were ways to also play around the hazards without needing to necessarily get rid of them. Stealth Rock removed that. Stealth Rock was just a rock type attack that you always took rock type damage if you switched in. And if your Pokemon was weak to rock type, you could just like cease to be an active Pokemon on the team. Superman teams in Gen 3. Yeah, there was a team style there was a team style in Gen 3 called Superman, which was effectively just the majority of your team. I cannot run from the creature. Okay. The majority of your team, I need a fast, was either a levitator or a flyer, so you didn't have to worry about getting rid of spikes because none of your Pokemon were affected by spikes. There you go. Poison used to cause damage outside of battle no longer to the case. That's true. That's true, actually. That is a mechanics change for poison. You are right. Originally, poison would kill you outside of battle. Then it changed so it would only bring you to 1 HP, and then poison would cure itself. That's actually really interesting because that makes poison one of three, like one of three only status conditions that is actually removable without the use of an item. However, it can't be removed in battle. Sleep and freeze are not permanent conditions that can be removed during battle. Poison cannot, but poison can be removed outside of battle. Burn and paralysis, you need to use items. If you do not use an item, you do not get rid of those effects. But that's only in Gen 4. And then in later generations, poison damage just stopped happening outside of battle because I guess they were sick of doing it. Festive Shard. What the fuck? Huh? Festive ability. Well, I mean, they're all evolved, so they're not doing that. What do you mean fucking festive ability? Christmas. Poison screen effect can be annoying based on what game you're looking at. I think the poison effect on XD and Coliseum is quite annoying. That red flash. Push, push, push. I don't think there's anything of value in here. I'm honestly just trying to get through it so I can go to Cinnabar the long way. But, like, I'm here anyway, so might as well clean up, right? Sleep has had a whole history of nonsense to it. In Gen 1, sleep was like 0 to, I think, 4 turns? Something like that, right? But it was because of the, you could wake up on the same turn you were put to sleep, but you didn't get to act when you were put to sleep. So Pokemon that were faster than you had infinite tries to put you to sleep. In Gen 2, they fixed that. And they made it so you could attack when you wake up. They also made it so you could fall asleep for as long as 7 turns. Yeah. That's great. Hold on. Isn't that fantastic? You can sleep for 7 fucking turns. But hey, at least you can attack the turn you wake up, right? Yes, Gen 2 sleep is very, very powerful. But the thing is, in competitive Gen 2, specifically, there is a lot of rest. Rest and sleep talk are really, really powerful because in that generation, rolling rest from sleep talk will heal you. You can heal from that. So it's amazing stall tactics. Yow. Yow. You again. Pain split? Okay. Gunk shot. In Generation 3, I don't think sleep... I think sleep was pretty standard in that one. In Gen 3, sleep was just anywhere between 2 to 4 turns. Gen 5 is when they fucked up. Gen 5 banned sleep in competitive because in Generation 5... Nice. In Generation 5, your sleep turns rolled back. So, something that was always a thing that happened with sleep is that you would burn your sleep turns, but if you switched out in Gen 5, your sleep counter would reset. So, for example, my sleep powder is frozen and dying. Forgot about that. For example, if you click rest, you have to sleep for 2 turns, guaranteed. So turn 1, turn 2, and then you wake up on turn 3. If you switch out at any point, after using rest, your sleep counter resets back to 0. So you have to stay in for 3 turns if you want to wake up after clicking rest. Hado orb. We're not gonna spend all day here, I hope. Okay. Dun 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 So, yeah. You. Easy orb. The best part about playing Pokemon is spending an egregious amount of time trying to catch the shitty legendary that you're not gonna use. Is this anybody's favorite part of Pokemon? Is playing throw Ultra Balls at Legendary until you either run out of Ultra Balls or you run out of Pokemon, and then you reset your game and try again. Anybody's favorite part of the game? Anybody like that part? Ban it, net, net, net. Ban it, net, net, net. Ban it, ban it, ban it, ban it. Should did it for Ultra Beasts. Ultra Beasts get caught really easily, especially in the Beast Balls. Catch rates at that point were improved because they realized that people don't like doing this. People don't really like doing this because it's boring. I'm digging a hole and I'm throwing an easy ball. And I'm coming in the DMMA and I'm clicking Stun Spore and I'm clicking Stun Spore and I missed 4 Stun Spores in a row. I missed 4, count 'em, 4 Stun Spores in a row. What? All the legendaries have either healing moves or explosion. Oh, nothing funnier than a fucking legendary with explosion, right? This guy's IVs are gonna be so good. Legends of Makai. Me, that's me. I'm the Legend of Makai. Dee nee 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 nee. Dee nee 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 nee. Nee 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 nee. Nee 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 nee. Nee 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 nee. Nee 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 nee. What's the catch rate on this guy? Probably 3. Which means even at, like, critical health... At critical health and, status conditioned, your chances of catching him are not very high. This is why they want you to throw the Master Ball. think I'm gonna lose my mind. You box a legendary with bad IVs but still outside your least favorite party member. I don't use legendaries, period. I don't like using legendaries. The only exception is when they're named June. That's the only exception I've ever made in my life. And I guess using Rayquaza in Gen 3 because I just wanted Rayquaza to finish the game for me. Shizuha was alive for quite a while there. I've thrown at least 100 Ultra Balls now. I'm digging a hole. Ow! Go! I don't like using Pokemon that are like that are already fully evolved. I like leveling the Pokemon up myself. Many-eyed entity that can be found at gates and Makai wields powerful lightning. Alright, I got it. Let's get the hell out of here. The sun is setting. You know who else has a catch rate of 3? Beldum. Guess which Pokemon didn't get that shit corrected? Yeah, Beldum. What is Beldum's only move? Self-inflicted recoil damage is what Beldum's only move is. That's right. Ah. I'm getting lost. I need to find the exit. I need to find the exit on the other route. To take me to Cinnabark. Hard orb. Beldum's just kind of a motherfucker like that. He only knows takedown for some reason. And he was never really meant to be a wild encounter. He was originally a gift Pokemon from Steven. Steven Stone. Current is too fast. Surf can't be used here. Well, fucking do something about it, asshole. I already fixed the current over there. There's a hole. Surf harder. What? What just happened? Bro. I don't even know what just happened to me. I've already... Oh, okay, I gotta go up to a higher floor. Can you stop beeping? Holy shit, get over it already! Thank you. Purple, okay. Pretty sure the starters also have a catch rate of 3, but again, these Pokemon aren't meant to be caught. That might have changed since, you know... yeah, that probably has changed. Gift Pokemon were just seemingly given absurd catch rates for no other reason than because you didn't need to worry about catching them. I guess. Are we getting out of here soon? I don't know. Wrong. Oh. I don't want an escape rope, because if I escape rope, it'll take me back to the wrong entrance. I'm trying to get to the other entrance that'll take me closer to Cinnabar, because I'm lazy, and because I don't have access to fly on hand. So I have to do a bunch of fucking shit to get to Pallet Town. I don't want to do that. I guess we're just gonna keep pushing this boulder. Oh! Okay. Gogasta learn fly. I don't know what I expected. Why did you think she could fly? Because she holds an umbrella? You think umbrellas let you fly? Are you insane? What is wrong with you? This guy's insane. He's gone crazy. I gotta get topside. She can glide on the wind. I need to get back all the way up. And find the boulder. And then what? I don't know, dude. When I was a kid, I thought there was a hidden room in Seafoam Islands around that water that I couldn't figure out how to get to. And I thought Suicune was hiding back there. Why? I don't fucking know, dude. Because to me, Suicune was the equivalent of Articuno for Gen 2. I like secrets like that in video games, though. That's why I dream, alright? I'm a dreamer. Just keep following the fucking rock downward. There we go. See? You see that? Like I see that shit and I'm like, ooh, that looks like secret tile set. Must be a secret down there. The secret legendary of Seafoam Islands. Even Articuno? The other one! The other one! What could it be? There's also a waterfall behind the boulders, right? Like, there's this fucking shit you can't access, and it makes me think, like, whoa, will they hide secrets back there? Isn't that exciting to think about? Doesn't that make you excited? Are you on vacation? Yeah. Yeah, every day is a vacation. My team is half dead. Not really. Sunny Milk is here. Could be anything. Yeah, but like stupid Easter eggs and shit like that are fun, right? Wouldn't it be really cool if you were just randomly playing a Pokemon game and you were in a perfectly normal area, but then you accidentally like walk into a fucking like you walk into a pathway that you're not really meant to go to, and then suddenly you enter a new area and there's no music and you're like, what the fuck is this? Like, secrets like that are awesome. It's like you're somewhere that you're not supposed to be. That's not scary, that's cool. Then you have secret areas that are fucking worthless. They're out of the way and you go to them and they're like a single room. They do nothing. Damn, mailing tough. No mercy at all. I gotta get the Cinnabar. I gotta get the Cinnabar and avoid trainers and then, you know, double back. Coming through, coming through, coming through, coming through. Coming through, coming through. Yeah. We'll check on these pogies I caught too. Don't talk to anybody suspicious. Doesn't one of these rocks have a rare candy, or am I mixing up this game? What? What did you do to my Cinnabar? Eh? What? Huh? Sorry, the cave has been closed off due to recent unrest of native Bonica. Cinnabar volcano. The door is locked. I don't know where I am. What exactly is south of Pallet Town then? Unless you can go around that way, yeah, probably. Alright, we're in the volcano. There's a bunch of areas that don't really do anything. Like the scorched slab in Gen 3 was repurposed as a heat transpawn point, I guess. But I like random stuff, random areas, especially areas that really kind of give the sense that you're not supposed to be there. It makes you all the more curious to explore it, right? I'm not talking about like a fucking spooky spaghetti or anything, but just like areas that you have to look for that are like, how'd you find this, dude? Alright. Timid. Great. Naughty. Great. Lonely. Great. Great. Fantastic. Simply the best. We'll buy more fucking orbs now. Hi there. I thought you were an aide. Sun of Spring is like that. Sun of Spring is like that in Diamond and Pearl, yes. Because Diamond and Pearl, it literally just appears on your map. Study Bonica every day. It just appears on your map when you beat the Elite Four. And it's just like, when you hover over it. C Snai, would you get my C Racing? You have a C Alice? Traded for my C Snai. Found the most remarkable fossil. I think it's a rare prehistoric Bonica. There's no indication of it existing. No, but I'm saying that, like, the pathway doesn't exist is the thing until you beat the Elite Four, and then the pathway exists and it's on your map, and when you hover over it, it's like the 4th lake of Sinnoh that was kept hidden. It's like, what do you mean? Why is this lake a secret? And you go there and it's like, oh, I'm somewhere I'm not supposed to be. Got a new metronome. My Bonica likes using it to lull themselves to sleep. An amber pipe. Sea Rainbow can evolve into one of 3 kinds of Bonica. That's great. Looking for Sea Race and want to trade for my Sea Alice. Why are you not in the other trade room? Hi, I'm an important doctor. Here I study rare fossils. You have a fossil? Sea Rainbow who has gone extinct. Okay, here you go. You're late. Where were you? I have Chrima. And I can also use the air scroll. He's weird, but he's doing his job. Rainbow went extinct after the incident. Alright, now we can check these 2. Are these guys any good? Or do they even have this come back later mechanic? I don't know, actually. They're level 5. Faith, brave nature. Okay, Rainbow. Mild. Reset. No. Alright. I'm in the house on the hill. John's house on the hill. Check it out, I'm in the house like carpet. Oh, that's nice. I don't think there's gonna be anything here that's like necessary. Oh, well, I guess. Oh, I get to try again. Alright. Doink, doink, doink. She guards the bridge between the surface world and the underground world. Spiteful. You mean jealous? You mean jealous, right? Anybody home? Padu, padu. Thought you were a ghost. Look at all these optional dungeons. This is an optional dungeon streamer. Johnson! Oh! Shit, the house on the hill! It's all making sense. When do I learn Flamethrower, dude? You know, I don't even know what attack stat is better for Sunny. I just kind of have 2 attacks. Kogasa. You're a ghost type. Whatever. Yeah. The sun is coming through the window right now, and it actually feels really nice because I'm actually like physically tired. Okay. Chad, I'm gonna skip art today because I want to go to bed early, so I will do that. I will do art tomorrow if I cannot do if I can't do Hero of Ice Fairy, but I didn't do any art earlier either. I got groceries and I did exercise, but I was trying to physically exhaust myself so I can actually go to sleep at a real time. I was actually thinking about doing Fire Emblem. I was thinking about doing Fire Emblem today, but I didn't really get a chance to look at it to set it up. But there's no rush. That's because we were talking about it the other day. I'm pretty sure I have the game. I have I have some version of 6, 7, and 8 that's like some kind of, I think it has a built-in casual mode. I don't remember. I downloaded it some time ago, but it was some kind of quality of life version of it. I just never set it up or really looked into it, because after I grabbed it, that's kind of when Fantasy Maiden Wars took off, or got announced. Satori, I have one of you, but you're level, like... What? Whatever. I'll catch you because the other one sucks. You got Flashfire from... You traced Flashfire, that's why. There you go. Okay. I want to do Sacred Stones because Sacred Stones is... I was told that Sacred Stones is one of the easiest ones to get into. One of the most beginner-friendly ones. It's also got a good story. Cool characters. But also it's beginner-friendly. And I don't really, I'm not very good at the genre. So that seemed like the best one. That seemed like the best one to start with because that one just seemed like, I think the one I'm most interested in playing is 9. Because I'm really curious about Ike. Because I've known Ike from Smash. I used to play Ike in Smash as well. I thought he was cool. So I'm curious what happens with his game. I don't really care that much about Roy. Never really care much about Roy. And I know what happens with Marth loosely. So, yeah, Ike's the one I would be interested in. So yeah, 8 and 9 are kind of up there. I've never seen a Fire Emblem player's tier list, mind you. But is there a Fire Emblem game that you think if somebody played it first? Satsuki. If they played that one first, that you would be surprised if they played any Fire Emblem game ever again. Oh yeah, I've heard about Roy's games, yeah. Tracia, is that 5 or 4? I know they're the same country, but I thought 5 was called Tracia 776, which is like a confusing name. 5 and 4. I thought Tracia was the continent. Because I thought 5 was kind of like a quote-unquote sequel to 4. Not directly, but I thought it was like the same realm. Because Shadows of... In the second game, the country of Valentia exists in the same time as the Marth Kingdom, right? So the Pegasus sisters from the like Pala, Shana, and Est, I think. I don't remember. They're in that game because they were visiting the country for whatever reason, so that's why they're units in that one. Country continent, whatever it's called, Jugdrawl. That's such a bad fucking name. Thracia 776 happens during 4. That's confusing. That's very confusing. It's a side story. It's a main game. What do you mean it's a main game? No wonder fucking... Oh, shit! No wonder this fucking game, nobody talks about it. It's cute, so. What? Don't be doing that. Alright. You little rat bastard. You want to do that? We'll do that. Oh, great. Fire Emblem fans only know 3 houses and hot shit. You sound like an old man. Live in the hells of blazing fire, she's able to manipulate nuclear fusion. You're an old man. Back in my day, we had 23 units. Half of them sucked. And we were okay with them dying. Mainstream. The Fire Emblem boys. All they care about is their romance pairings. They don't care about anything else. Play a real Fire Emblem. Tokyo Mirage Session. Isn't that a real SMT? Or is that the kind of thing that you say to get people mad? Alright, Parsi. Naughty nature. Well, jealousy helps repel wild Bonica. Okay. Bold nature. Whoa! Whoa! This creature's cracked! Wait, what does this creature do? What's a... One attack is good. What are you talking about? One attack is literally min-maxing for confusion damage, because she's clearly not punching people. Chat, what can she transform into? Can we make anything out of this? Wait, can't she be Wobbuffet? Isn't she a perfect Wobbuffet? Quiet nature. Oh. Lava plume. That would be nice to have, actually. What about Christmas? Can she be Christmas? D Satori is Wobbuffet. Do we bring Scum? Do we bring Scum? Almost Tori's big special attack and average stats for the rest. Then it's not really worth it. I mean, it seems to me like it's not a bad idea to turn her into Wobbuffet. What if she has a Chrima form? Chrima? No! Incompatible! Alright. Ratio was released to the Nintendo Power Service. Japan exclusive service allow players to use writable game cartridges to purchase and download game ROMs from kiosks like retail locations. So you're saying it's not even a real game. Technical Satori? That's a real one. What does Technical Satori do? Take it, child. Oh, she's doing the Wobbuffet pose. Hmm. 95 across the board and bad speed. Why does she suck? Shadow tag. Yep. Hey, she can still attack. She's got IVs. Can she learn a move? Wait, what type is she? Is she pure heart? Yeah, she's pure heart. She can learn moves, right? I mean, she can transform as well. Can you learn psychic? That would be nice. Can you learn this? Maybe I should have taught her moves before I evolved her. Yeah. That's not gonna work. Alright. She only starts getting moves at level 40. Oh, you mean so she can't learn this no matter what? What's the matter? Is she stupid? What the fuck? She's inept. She's incapable. Alright. You can't teach her anything. I can teach her to love. Alright? I'm gonna give her some... I don't give her anything, actually. Run her as a Ditto until then. She can't run, dude. She's probably anemic. What a crazy catch. Now I'm actively using Wobbuffet in this fucking game. I ain't putting her up front until there's a trainer in front of me. Why Wobbuffet cheats? A story in 3 words. Destiny Bond. Cock. Good words. No more Lily. Lily's been on the team and has been active in maybe 3 battles. Maybe 3 battles. She was struggling, alright? Everybody else has a place on the team. Okay? Yam, huge. Sunny, huge. Kane, huge. Mailing, somehow huge. She's a hot, massive. Lily would come in and die. 90% of the time, she would just come in and die. Lily was turning into an Encore bot. She couldn't hit anybody with Encore in a real manner that mattered. She failed that role. Lily is moral support. Well, she can be supportive in the box. She's happier in there anyway, I'm sure. What could Parsi evolve into? She can evolve into a massive fucking problem. That's what she can evolve into. You let shit like that fester, man, and man, it just explodes on you. Where are you going? I don't know where I'm going, actually. I'm lost. A secret switch. Press it? Who wouldn't? Oh. Okay. Sorry, I just don't want to do encounters with shit that does not matter. Koishi's probably in here somewhere. But, yeah. She's probably, like, Utso is probably the rare encounter. Utso would be great, because she can be really fast and annoying. But, you know, she's one of those puppets that you need the speed stat for. Otherwise, the whole puppet just is useless. Alright. These Christmas forms did not exist when I played this originally. I don't know what these Christmas forms are. My mentor once lived here. How many Christmas forms are there? And can you get those shards elsewhere in the game? Kidding. Oh. I just realized my HP is 191. But streamer, we already told you were Wobbuffet. Yeah, and I just wasn't paying attention. Does that explain it to you? That I just wasn't paying attention? Do you understand now when you talk to me and you realize that I am stupid? You realize that I am dumbass. This is a crab battle. Oh, never mind. Crab battle's over. There's 6. Parsi, Chirno, Rumia, Mistia, Wriggle, Kisume, and Parsi. Wait, Rumia? Wait, what's the stat spread on that one? We have a Rumia to evolve into Christmas Rumia. I have all of those puppets, actually. I could actually look at all those forms. Roar, I have a TM for that, so I don't need that. I'm staying in, dude. What are their stat spreads? Are they any good? Why the hell Kasumi? Because she looks like an elf. Crown! I'll have to check those when I'm done in the Pokemon Mansion. 80, 70, 105, 95. Wow, that sounds like ass. Sounds like ass. Well, I'm switching again to my fire type. I can at least look at them, because they're not something I've had before. And I've caught all the puppets necessary for actually checking that. So we'll do that once I get out of here. They're all ice types. Yeah, because there's not very many ice types. There's not very many ice types in this game. My Rumia had 31 IV in speed, but had a nature that was negative for it. So I was hoping that I could either change your nature or, like, try to figure out a different plan for that. I just walked on that rail. Get it together, game designers. HP up. Not natively the game, it's just Chirno, Letty, Mai, and Yumemi for whatever reason are ice types. That means Lorelei probably has the ice type variants. Just so she doesn't just have like 2 Lettys and 2 Chirnos. There we go. Something tells me I'm in the wrong spot. Yep. I always get this wrong, because I always assume the way to go is past the trainer. But it's not. They're all gonna be part ice to make up for the lack of ice types. But they didn't exist the last time I played this game. It's also April. So, like, we're a little, you know, we're a little out of season. She just traced Shadow Tag, so we're now doing this. Well, this is a matchup I can actually win, so that's nice. Delicious. It's the season. No, it isn't. Every day's Christmas if you believe. Another one. Get him with a bang. Can you believe that's not even a 2-hit KO? What? Somehow, that feels like it was my fault. Why is that? Why, indeed. Is that all you know? Is it all you're capable of? All you can do is click Psybeam? Thank God they cut the animation short on leftovers. Wouldn't it be cool if in the Pokemon Mansion you got to the basement? And you know, you get the secret key and all that, but like, what if there was a secret room in the basement? Like an even secreter room in the basement. What if, right? Like you move one of the machines, like a machine fell over on it, and you can find it in the post game, and you go down there, and there's even more secret shit down there. There's also the only encounter in there is Ditto. I'm gonna catch you because there's a chance you might be better than the last. Alright. Wouldn't that be cool? It would just be somewhere in the post game to have access to easy Ditto. The area itself wouldn't be anything particularly special, mind you. But it's just something, it's something to reward the player. It's nice to have easy access to things that are convenient for when you're done playing the game that aren't very convenient while you're playing the game. And something like that for Ditto I think is fantastic. Recover. So you knew you were screwed from the start. Bam, 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 bam. Ah, I see. Wow. Oh my. Wake up. Wake up. That's not gonna matter. I don't know how many trainers are left, but half my team is now severely injured. Gren? Gren. It also allows more lore. Although sometimes I think Pokemon does a perfectly fine job with the amount of lore it gives you. There's stuff going on in the world, but they don't explicitly just, like, tell you. They don't monologue it to you. It's aspects of a place that you have to discover for yourself. That's one of the things I like about Fallout. Ayakashi is too powerful. They made the tree. Fallout has like stories built into the different vaults that you can come across through your playthrough, which I think is very fascinating. Alright, we got 2 burns here. Let's go with the one who can't be burned. It's not necessary to any plot or anything, but it's nice to just have lore kind of buckled in somewhere like that. It's only really relevant to that little corner of the world. This place ideal for a lab. Look at all the space. Is it known that this is a lab? I guess it is, right? He says it like it's some kind of like... He says it like it's some kind of revelation, or he's saying that as in like he understands why. But like, there's a lot of equipment and shit around here, but I wonder, do people in this world know what the purpose of the lab was? Because I know that a lot of the media surrounding Gen 1 does paint Mewtwo's creation as a Team Rocket scheme, but I don't think there's anything in the games that actually suggests that. However, in the Rainbow Rocket episode for Gen 7, Giovanni does have a Mewtwo on his team. That's the only real tying link between Cinnabar Mansion and that. But it's also entirely possible that Giovanni just caught Mewtwo anyway. It wasn't so much that Mewtwo just like, the experiment was a success and Giovanni reined it in. It could have just been that Giovanni is the one who caught it. Right? But, like, as early as the first movie, it's very clear that, like, Team Rocket is the reason for why Mewtwo exists. The manga also does that plot point as well. It's just the games itself. The Cinnabar Mansion is just kind of a mansion in ruin. How long has it been in ruin for is the question. Because I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Oh, there's Quaishi. There is stuff in this, like, mansion that is very decrepit, but they're also... Oh, wow. That's quick. She wanted to avoid the hate and dislike due to her mind-reading ability, so she closed off her third eye. I don't know how long in lore the Cinnabar Mansion has been in ruins, because as you can see, there is shit that's, like, decrepit upstairs, but there's a lot of lab equipment down in the basement that still seems to be functional. Or at the very least, it doesn't have any damaged sprite work to it. Even the floor itself is very clean. Like, the basement is relatively untouched. But there's a lot of, like, structural damage everywhere else through the mansion. Which makes you wonder, was Mewtwo just chilling in the Cerulean Cave for years? Why did it retreat in a Cerulean Cave, exactly? Why is it in there? What's keeping it in there? These are questions. These are interesting questions. Why does Mewtwo insist on just chilling in this cave the way he does, right? Is there a reason for it? Has he been in there for long? Has he been in there? Has he been more active? Because the thing is he's portrayed as a very dangerous Pokemon. So if he was out and active, it would be more dangerous, right? I know where I am. Is he aware of that? How, like, Mewtwo is capable of thought. There's a lot of... Oh, 38, damn. That was higher level than my actual guys. That must have been like a wheezing replacement or something. Power plant's in worse condition. What's the power plant story? Is there a story to that? Because the power plant is in disrepair and Zapdos is chilling there, but it's not like Zapdos moved in and they were like, well, fuck, I guess we gotta abandon this. Like in Gen 2, they fixed the power plant up all good. And in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Zapdos still shows up there. He just shows up outside of it. He hides in Cerulean Cave because you can't go in there unless you're absolutely cracked. Yeah, but that's only because some random asshole standing in front of the fucking entrance and being like, sorry, only champions can go in here? You're not a champion, so beat it? What if that guy... What if that guy's not a real person? What if that guy is some, like, creation or mind control slave for Mewtwo? And Mewtwo is using him to gauge opponents. Because he does do that mind control shit in the movie. What if it's not a real thing, right? What if it is just something that Mewtwo placed there to kind of like fucking skill check you? We're here to check the new guys. We caught a new Utso. Serious. Okay. Lonely. Well, that is accurate. You're not very good, but... yeah. She's got Cloud 9. Lickitung is only in Cerulean Cave in yellow. Does that mean Lickitung is on Mewtwo's level? No, it means that Lickitung was ostracized from society and he can only take refuge in that cave. Did you think it was going to be a happy answer? It's fucking Lickitung, dude. I assume the reason for that is because Lickitung is... one of Lickitung... Lickitung is supposed to be a trade evolution. A trade Pokemon, but the trade got changed to a starter or something in yellow. It got changed, and then they were like, well, no Lickitung. Okay. We will put you back in, but we're taking a... We're going up to Pallet Town, is all. We're gonna clear out the rest of the water route. Licky Licky is not very cool, I must admit. I must say, Licky Licky does, in fact... He does not, in fact, inspire good feelings in other people when you see him. Nice rock to prevent you from doing anything silly. Mewtwo, the degree of Mewtwo's intelligence is very waning. based on what's going on with it, right? In the manga and in the games, you can catch him. In the anime, he is a creature of extreme power that nobody can catch. But the anime does that with legendaries in general, right? It kind of just does that in general with that. Mewtwo is definitely an intelligent Pokemon, but there's also Pokemon like Metagross and Alakazam. Metagross is supposed to be like a fucking supercomputer, and Alakazam is said to have an IQ of 5,000. They're still Pokemon though, right? The concept of Mewtwo is something I find quite interesting. They found a DNA sample of a Mew, and they tried to clone Mew, but they tried to create a version of Mew that I guess was more aggressive? Or was it that the violent tendencies of Mewtwo was a side effect that happened without their intention? Alakazam had 5,000 IQ. I'm pretty sure that would be in labs and not in nature. Well, that's the thing. Alakazam isn't in nature because it's a trade Evo. You can only find Kadabra and Abra. When you send Kadabra through the link cable, it learns the secrets of the universe because it sees that it is a video game creature. It sees the world outside of its game, and it becomes enlightened, and it becomes Alakazam. That's how you get Alakazam. Yeah, Solacis, Solacis, Duazion, and Reuniclus are based on, like, fetus in the womb, which is kind of fucking weird, but that Pokemon is surprisingly good. Not so much nowadays, but yeah. I assume the reason why some Pokemon evolve by trading is because their genetic makeup just gets absolutely mangled up. I assume that's what it is. Well, how else could you explain why Machoke becomes a guy with 4 arms instead of 2, right? Why does Machoke, when you trade him, he just fucking, he mutates. It's like the the Fantastic Four. They mutate. They mutate in the link cable. I mean, a better example, which isn't really a mutation per se, is Carablast and Shelmet. To evolve Carablast and Shelmet, you have to trade. You have to trade with somebody, the other Pokemon. When Shelmet evolves, it becomes the speedy Excelgor, and when Carablast evolves, it becomes the strong and slow Excavalier, because it takes Shelmet's armor from it. It's not really an even exchange, is it? It's just Shelmet pawns its armor off onto Carablast. But there are also some ones like trade items, and I think the trade items are a similar reason. And it's just a matter of the item itself assimilates with the Pokemon's DNA, and it becomes a new Pokemon. The Dragon Scale, I think, is the most sensible one, because you just give a Seadra a Dragon Scale to hold. Sunny. And then when it goes to the trade, the item kind of assimilates with the Pokemon, and it turns it to a dragon. A more obvious example is Porygon. Porygon is a Pokemon that evolves by trading it with an upgrade. So when you break the Pokemon down into data, the item can assimilate with the Pokemon, and as a result, Porygon will evolve because it's downloading the update. And then its evolution from that with the Dupius disc is the same thing, right? One is a direct upgrade, the other is suspicious content. So that's a reason why that would make sense. Because the whole PC system kind of digitizes Pokemon in a way that is not infringing on anybody's rights. Shut up. Shut up. Carablast is said to steal the armor. But think about it like this. That means that during the process of the trade, the Pokemon actually are capable of interacting with each other to some degree. And because of that interaction, Carablast evolves into Excavalier, right? But also, Carablast and Shelmet do not naturally evolve, right? They don't naturally evolve as Pokemon, but Shelmet would evolve, per se, if it loses its armor. Carablast evolves by stealing the armor, which means it's an evolution that cannot happen. Well, it can happen in nature, actually, but it also is possibly an evolution that... No, actually, now that I think about it, no, that is an evolution that can easily happen in nature. I was trying to think of an evolution that can only happen with, like, mankind's manipulation. Obviously Porygon, because Porygon is a man-made Pokemon, so the evolution methods for Porygon are things that can only happen via the interference of man, which I think is a good touch to that Pokemon, that it doesn't evolve by level up or anything. It strictly needs to be improved through process of man. Now, that's also why it doesn't make any fucking sense that some games have catchable Porygons, because Porygon is not supposed to be catchable because it's not supposed to be a Pokemon. But yeah. How did Magnezone evolve? You evolve Magneton by leveling it up at areas with strong magnetic electricity. So Mount Coronet in Gen 4, Chargestone Cave in Gen 5, and various other places. Wherever you evolve Nosepass is where you evolve Magneton. Most Pokemon evolve by nature. They just evolve by nature. But I wonder if Pokemon like Scizor and Steelix, like, these Pokemon exist. They do exist in nature, but when you think about the methods to evolving them, it really seems like it's something that was caused by the hubris of man, right? Touhou? The hubris of man is what causes it. Because they trade with an item and they get all messed up with it. Unless you can explain how you would find, like, have a Scizor occur naturally. But, that said, Steelix is a Pokemon you can catch in Gen 4 in Iron Island. And the reason for that is explainable because the idea that Onix lives on an island that's so rich in a certain metal content that if Onix eats enough of it, it simply assimilates the metal within it itself, hence it evolves into Steelix. So the metal coat itself is basically an acceleration of a change of, like, what's the word here? The metal coat is an acceleration of a change of environment, or an environmental evolution. Steelix is a Pokemon that exists when a, like, it's a Pokemon that exists when an Onix has a diet that consists heavily of, like, steel, metal, iron, whatever you want to call it. And we could see that with Steelix being a catchable encounter in Gen 4 in Iron Island, an island that is very rich in iron, hence the name, right? So that makes sense. But what about Scyther? Scyther doesn't eat metal, right? How does Scyther become Scizor if not because of human interference? The Reaper Claws need to get Dusknoir man-made. You could say the same about the Protector, right? Porygon Online being catchable in Legends Arceus is funny. The only reason that is that way is because Porygon Z is a Gen 4 Pokemon. But those Pokemon only appear... in the dimensional rifts. So they were smart about that. They made it so Porygon can only really appear like that. Magnemite is another one like that, actually. Magnemite and Magneton can only appear in dimensional rifts, but I'm pretty sure the game does have a random Magnezone floating around the Mount Coronet area. So Magnezone exists. But yeah, you can only get the starters, the fossils, and like Porygon and Magnemite / Magneton from dimensional rifts. I think the Rether Claw, because Dusknoir's lore is that it drags souls to hell. And there's even an episode in the anime where a Dusknoir is actually, like, active trying to bring a little ghost girl who's causing havoc back to hell. Like, he's basically the Grim Reaper. He's basically the Grim Reaper. But Dusclops also, like, absorbs souls into its stomach. and never lets them go or some shit like that. I don't remember. I don't remember the details on that one, but yeah. So I think what the Reaper Cloth is the Reaper Cloth is just, it's basically just a piece of cloth that is soaked in, otherworldly effect. You know, there's an episode in the anime where Ash and Team Rocket and friends are all in like a mansion that's inhabited by Litwick and whatnot, and in the end of the episode, they're in the basement, and the walls come down, and the fucking Chandelure and Lampent are trying to like suck these guys into the next dimension. Like, I don't remember what that episode is, but they were trying to kill them. Fucked up, right? Describes having strong spiritual energy. So, sometimes you gotta look at the Japanese text to understand it, because the English text doesn't always fully translate what's going on with it, because there's certain subject matter that we're not allowed to see in English for games with this ESRB rating. So that's kind of what happens there. I question the Protector. The Protector definitely seems like a man-made item. Because I have no idea where a Protector would, like, stem from, right? Where would a Protector even stem from originally, if not from a pre-existing Rhyperior? Drain Punch. Oh, thank God I can just get rid of Strength. I mean, I'll need Strength at some point later, but I can give it to, like, Kane or something. Drain Punch is certainly better. I don't like Rhyperior's design. I think Rhyperior's design is... It's one of those designs that when you look at it, you're like, yeah, that wasn't designed at the same time as the previous forms. Rhyhorn is cool. I think Rhyhorn is a cool Pokemon. Rhydon is awesome. Rhydon's one of my favorite Pokemon. I think Rhydon is fucking rad. Rhyperior is not that cool. He's okay. He's not necessarily bad. Like, I can't call him bad, but I don't think he's that cool. I like Tangrowth though. Tangrowth has grown on me. Some of the Gen 4 evolutions are just simply better than others. I think Weavile and Gliscor are a contender for the best. Because despite how Gliscor plays, Gliscor is a very cool design. And Weavile is also a very slick design. I don't think Mamoswine looks that cool. And I think Mamoswine looks pretty different from Piloswine. So I'm not huge on him. But I think Mamoswine is fine. But I do think that, like, Electivire's okay. Magmodar is ugly. Licky Licky is a disaster. Probopass should not be a real Pokemon. I don't count Leafeon and Glaceon. I don't know if I'd count Frostlass and Gallade, actually. Because, yeah, they kind of count. They're evolution stones from existing Pokemon. I guess they do count. In which case, I would put Frostlass and Gallade up there as well. Frostlass is one of my favorite Pokemon in general, and Gallade is really cool. Gallade is a good take on a physical orientation for the Ralts line. Yanmega? Oh, I forgot about Yanmega. Yanmega's cool as fuck. Now that is a cool fucking Pokemon. That's top 5. That's top 5. Tangrowth grew on me, but Tangrowth is definitely not anything spectacular. Can't think of any others. Gen 4 had an interesting decision to kind of evolve a bunch of random Pokemon. I wouldn't call it a bad decision. It did give some Pokemon real viability. Probopass didn't exist in Gen 3. No, Probopass was Gen 4 with Magnezone. Same time. Probopass is a really, really, really bad mon. Ambipom? I forgot about Ambipom. Nasty Plot. Ooh, wait, that could be kind of huge. Early game boss like Onyx. Yeah. You know what's funny is Cranidos was also that. Because Cranidos, despite being a base form Pokemon, has an attack stat of like 100 or some shit. Rampardo sucks, though. What, Togekiss? Togekiss is a good Pokemon. Don't get me wrong. Togekiss is kind of fat. Togekiss is like what happens when you take Togetic's head and you liquefy the shit out of it. Like, you literally just take Togetic's head, you liquefy the shit out of it to make a blob, and then you're like, that's a Pokemon. It goes from, like, a bipedal creature to a full-on bird. Why, though? I'm not huge on Ambipom because I think his haircut looks stupid. I'm just throwing mud at Hina's, dude. Probopass also has a very unfortunate type. Hina's just don't make the grade. And raise them, fucker. Probopass is Steel Rock. Two heavily defensive types put together is actually kind of equals a fucking disaster. I need to heal. Steel Rock is one of the worst defensive profiles you could have. Steel and Rock on its own, mainly Steel I suppose, is quite good. Steel is a very good defensive type. Only type to resist Dragon. For the longest time, it was the only type that could do anything to Dragon in that department. And then Fairies happen. But when you put Rock type to it, they just have no good synergy, and it just exemplifies their weaknesses way too much. It's bad. Will it be good, or will it be bad? Sunny Milk. Sunny Milk. Star. Sunny Milk. Oh, Miko. What are you hanging out with fairies for? Oh, didn't mean to do that. I didn't think she'd die. I gotta find a new one. Alright. Okay. I didn't think she'd fucking die. It's alright, I'll just find a shiny one instead. Yeah. Mega Aggron's got pure steel type, and it has filter as an ability. The wall has returned. There you are. You have trace, huh? Okay. We'll go with that. Rock type is really weird in Gen 1, because Rock type really doesn't feel like it was meant to be a type that you're supposed to use. It feels like it was designed as a type that the player is supposed to overcome. Because there are two rock moves in Gen 1. Rock Throw and Rock Slide. I'm pretty sure that Rock Throw has 60 accuracy. Not for the fossils, it would be synonymous with ground. That's true as well. Because the only rock ground types you get are Onix, Geodude, and Rhyhorn. And they're all part ground. So without the fossils, you wouldn't get a rock type that stands on its own. The fact that everything in the fucking game that you run into is part ground made me think that rock types were immune to electric attacks for the longest time. Stay in the ball, please. There we go. There's no 100 accuracy physical rock. Yes, there is. Excel Rock. It's only learned by like one Pokemon. But it is in fact the correct answer. Where you going, streamer? To be honest, I don't know the quickest way back. Quickest way back would be to learn Fly, actually. Alright. Onix being a ground type is more relevant than Onix being a rock type, yeah. I wonder if that guy finished his Mount Moon shortcut. Maybe I should just take the long route back anyway, just to see it. Let me see. Hold on, I want to see, Miko. She looks like Mike there. Put you in the surf box. I'm going to Saffron. Impish. Yep. That's about what I'd expect from you. Okay, alright, okay. Rock type is weirdly... Oh. It's weirdly a type that feels like it always needs some kind of, like, rein in. Like, it's too strong. And to be fair, rock type does hit a surprising number of things, like, super effectively. Ice, flying, bug, fire. Like, that's a pretty good amount of things that it hits super effectively for no real reason. Like, rock is kind of... Swimsuit. Oh, it's a good find. Except I don't have any water types, so not really. Weirdly offensive. Yeah, kind of. It's a really awkward type, though. Because it's really not that defensive. I mean, it is. It's one of 2 types in the game that resists normal types. So there's that. You open? The door is locked. Alright, I can get back to Vermilion faster by going through Yam Tunnel, but like I said, I want to see if the Mount Moon route opened, and I don't really mind doing the run back, because how are those running shoes working out? Me, I'm here to check the local Wriggle population. I actually didn't find a Wriggle in here when I was here originally, but I found one later. Alright. You know what this reminded me of? Venonat. Why aren't you able to find Venonat in Viridian? Is that really too much to ask? I'm not saying Venomoth is a fucking amazing Pokemon or anything, but there's always Pokemon in generations that really aren't that good, but because of how late you get them, they're not worth, like, investing the time into. Get the air scroll checked. I did. Ow. That sneeze hurt my body. Pain. Chimecho Tangular Lickitung. I forgot what I was talking about. I wouldn't count those too much because they're single evolutions. But, like, I'm talking more like Pokemon that can actively evolve. But the level that you find them... The level you find them, they're pretty much already one level from evolving anyway. So it's like you don't even get to spend any time. One day I'll finish this project. Okay. I'm walking here, dude. Okay. I don't mind random rare Pokemon that don't evolve at all. I think Johto went a little too crazy with that, though. Because the idea of a rare Pokemon existing is cool. Like, that's cool and all. Why are you still here? But... like, there's too many Gen 2 Pokemon that don't evolve that are random encounters and stupid places. Lairon and Victory Road. No, because Aron is available as early as Brawly. However, Lairon and Agron's evolution levels are fucking stupid. It's like 32 and 42. Agron takes forever to get. You don't get one until the end of the damn game. But you do get Aron early in the game, so that one doesn't count. This girl's looking for Darkness Bonica. I'm talking Pokemon like Seal. You remember Seal? Seal can only be found in Seafoam Islands, which is only accessible after you have your 5th gym badge. You see? It is also entirely possible to miss Seal and get Lapras, who is just straight up a better Seal. Oh, you have Levitate too. Okay. I'm talking about Pokemon like that. Now, Pokemon like Jinx... Actually, I don't know if Jinx exists in Seafoam Islands. Okay, that might not be a good example. Stanley, Yama, Mischievous, Dunsparce, Sneasel, Skymory, Apom, Girafarig, Smeargle, Natu, Quillfish, Mischievous, Larvitar. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Come on, there's more than what you listed. You got plenty of them. I thought you were referring to Spheal. Yeah, that fucker too. He shows up behind Mossdeep. Same with Snorunt. Those two are not worth that, like, effort. The problem really stems from the fact that these Pokemon evolve so late to compensate for the fact that you get them so late, but then you can't really effectively use one because they take forever to level up. It doesn't work. It's pain. It's Glorbin. Go to the power plant. I don't want to go to the power plant. Natu's in a single route. You need to backtrack to the ruins and surf the hidden patch of grass in the route. Not a route, it's the ruins of Elf. You have to go through the Union Cave secret route to find the grass, where you can find Smeargle, Girafarig, and Natu. And they only exist there. That's it. You will only find them there. Alright, did this jackass move because I beat Fuchsia? Yeah, he did. He's taking a snooze. Oh, right. Before I do that, I wanted to look at the Chrima. Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna do something quick and dirty with it. Let's see. Why does Dino evolve so late? Dino is a product of Gen 5's problems of needing things to evolve way too fucking late for no good reason. Kasume. You don't even get the second form till level 50. Ruma. Chirno. And Parsi and Wriggle. Alright. Volcarona is a pseudo-legendary. 59 is a pain in the ass, I understand that. But, like, 55 was kind of the gold standard for a while anyway. But there's too many... The problem really is that he's single Evo. You have Larvesta until that point. If he had a middle Evo, it would be more forgivable. But Volcarona is also one of the most broken Pokemon of all time, so, you know. Dino has Hustle, Zweilius has Hustle, and then Hydreigon's like, I guess I have Special Attack now. Like, thanks, dude. Alright. Chrima! Mistia! Oh. She looks great. X-Mistia. Exum. Jolly. Ha 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 ha! Yeah, she sure is. Alright. Next. Next is Kasume. She's in a stocking. Oh my god, she's in a stocking. Look at that creature. She fire ice. It's a crazy type combo if so, yeah. Serious, sturdy. I don't know what her stat spread looks like, but she is in a stocking. Fire ice is kind of a crazy type. That's never happened. Meow. Festive. Wriggle. Kid named Rock Slide. Don't give me that shit. There's plenty of Pokemon out there who are times 4 weak to a Rock Slide. Like Volcarona. Exumrigu. It's probably ice, grass ice. Oh, cool. She's a special attacker though. Is there a grass ice type? Yeah, Abomasnow. Wriggle actually has good stats. Not my Wriggle. Padoop. I don't know if she's gonna be happy to put that little hat on. Where's the joy? Where's the whimsy? Dark Ice, Heart Ice, Naughty Nature. So their abilities don't seem to change. I assume their level up move pools change, but I couldn't tell you exactly what's going on with it, so yeah. 2 more. It was a cool find I got in the islands. Just gonna have a Santa bag. Exumchino. She's still an ice type. Shocker. Brave nature. Don't know what's special about her, but last one. Chrima. Ah. Old Saint Nick. Well, the effort went into this one, huh? Dark Ice. Alright. There we go. So, let's go back to my boxes and reorganize. I realized something important. It's very important, actually. Lily still has the leftovers. Those don't belong to you. Alright, let me get that off her. Give me your apple core. Mailing. Alright. We're giving them to, we're giving them to, Story. Alright. Cool. Let's go take a walk. An aquatic mine. We'll get stinking rich. These guys are just out here. My life as a criminal makes me feel so alive. Knew. I knew it. I think it's floor 7, right? I like getting the key and then going up from the bottom. You mistook me for a self-worker. Chad, I forget where the card key is. Someone remind me. Is it floor 7? Probably not, because I'm on it. Huh, well, there's Shibi for him, so that's not that big a deal, even if it is going to side beat me. Oh, that's fine. Man, I'm getting hungry. I'll be able to eat something tonight, and then it will make me all fat and bloated, and then I'll be able to go to bed after the hour is up. And then I'll wake up and it'll be early and I'll be doing my job. Teleport next to a rock, it's gotta get behind and reach the key. Yeah, I remember that, I just don't remember what floor he's on. I always assume he's on 7 and I seem to always be wrong. It's interesting here is because Sylph was blocked until I beat Koga, their levels are actually, like, not super low. In Vanilla, their levels are closer to mid-20s because you're allowed to come in here, like, as soon as you're done with the rocket base. However, your rival is, like, levels around Koga, so he kind of stops you if you go too far. Okay. Floor 5, thank you. Let's get that first. We study Miko Orb technology on this floor. So, do people who work at Sylph also work for Team Rocket? What exactly caused this? Because they're clearly here, they're invading the company, right? They have taken over the company, they've taken hostages, and Giovanni's negotiating with the boss. But there's also a lot of scientists in here. And some of them, like the one before, said like, haha, I don't work here. But this guy says like, we study Pokeball technology here. So this guy does work here, right? I should have known that was coming. So Team Rocket does have researchers that do work for the company. I guess that's how they got in the first place. That's probably how they got clearance to get in without raising a stink. Well, there's one guy specifically who says, who curses out the president for transferring him to the Tixies branch, right? So that guy has a motive for going against the company. But like this guy that I'm fighting right here, his dialogue suggests that he is just somebody that works at Sylph. But he's roaming free and he's also fighting me, right? And the guy before is like, aha, you thought I was you thought I worked for Sylph. There's no differentiating factor here, I suppose. They're all some of them are Sylph employees and some of them aren't. Early Pokemon had a numerous it had numerous like references to the real world. The most common one that's known is Raichu's ability to KO an Indian elephant with his Thunderbolt. Like, there's also the fact that Mew was discovered in the jungles of like South America, because Kanto is a region in Japan. Like, the Kanto region is based on the Kanto region. But at some point in time, there became more liberties, and the regions became more like, this is based on this area, yes, but it's like not exactly in the real world. It's the Pokemon equivalent to it, right? Tixies is the middle of Russian no man land. That's what the guy says. That's what the guy says. Oh. I guess we bouncing. Ow. Ooh. Arcanine is a legendary Pokemon in China. Arcanine is a legendary Pokemon in English. For whatever reason, Arcanine has the classification of legendary Pokemon in the Pokedex. Groudon and Regigigas are both the continent Pokemon. Those guys share a classification in the Dex, which is interesting. Man, they really did a good job with Arcanine and Ninetales, huh? I saw a post before about the design philosophy of Pokemon and how it's changed over the years, and how when you look at like concept art for Pokemon from Gen 1 and even Gen 2 versus like Pokemon from later gens, like a lot of early gen Pokemon had a stronger emphasis on being more like accurate to animal biology. And the further into Pokemon you got, the more goo the creature designs got. Big eyes, big heads, tiny limbs, stuff like that. Like there's a bit of a gooification of creature design that comes into Pokemon. But early Pokemon, like concept arts and whatnot, it's hard pressed to say it's realistic because it's Pokemon. But I guess if you wanna split hairs about it, or not split hairs about it, but if you want a comparison, look at Vulpix versus Fennekin. Vulpix and Fennekin are both foxes, yes. They're obviously different types of foxes. They're both fire-type foxes. But if you look at Vulpix's design, where its anatomy is very level with itself, and it has 6 tails, versus Fennekin's design, where Fennekin is like 75% head, 25% tail, and like 0.01% body. So there's definitely a gooification going on there. Chat, what floor is the heal floor? Where do I go to heal in this fucking place? I don't remember. Arcanine is a rad-ass Pokemon. But no, like, Gen 1 has a lot of designs that are, like, they're very real creature-esque, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. And, like I just illustrated with that example. That is not to say, alright? That is not to say that new Pokemon bad, old Pokemon good. Definitely not what I'm trying to say. But there is definitely a design change, like a change in design philosophy for Pokemon. That isn't inherently bad, but it's different. You know what I think it is? I think it's probably the marketability. It's probably just the fact that it's easier to make, like, product of cuter Pokemon, because when they're already cutesy, like Hello Kitty style, you can just do that and it's fine. But like, imagine somebody went and wanted to buy like a fucking, I don't know, like a fucking Bellsprout or something. Like, do you think a Pokemon like Bellsprout has fans? You think people look at Bellsprout and are like, I fucking love this guy? I don't think so. I don't think so. But that's okay, because Bellsprout was never meant to be cute. He was meant to be some kind of fucking creature. They're pocket monsters. It's in the name. They're monsters that fit in your pocket, but at some point they stopped being monsters. They started being goo. Does anybody respect Bellsprout? Does anybody respect Bellsprout for what it's done for the community? It has a whole tower in Johto. And then some started being designed with ulterior motives. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Ulterior motives. Wait, that was floor 9, wasn't it? Alright, we need to find the bed. Bingo. He said it. I want an explanation. Floor is yours. The floor is yours. You got a problem with my team of six Machokes? Huh? You got a problem with my team of 6 Machokes? What's the problem? I'm all ears. I do not understand design of Mega Victory Bell. Why it look like that? It looked like that because it's dying. Victory Bell is a pitcher plant. It has stomach acid inside of it. That's why it's a poison type. When it Mega Evolves, it fills to the brim with poison to a point where it can barely contain it. So it has to, like, seal its mouth. That's why. If you didn't know, Mega Evolution usually brings a Pokemon into excruciating pain and destroys their body for the exchange of a power boost for a limited amount of time. That's what Mega Evolution is. Its ability is innards out, which means when it dies, it spits all its poison at you. So yes, Mega Evolution actually does cause, like, suffering to the Pokemon. If you read Pokedex descriptions to them, you'll learn that. But Pokemon are willing to undergo those extremities for a period of time for the sake of their trainers. Except Altaria. Yeah. I don't know all of them. I don't know what's going on with the new ones, mind you, but a lot of the ones, yeah, it's mostly about, like, it is mostly about them getting fucked up. The door is open. Why does that read like a fucking shitty chat message? This reads like an asshole in chat, like, backseating. Like, bro, the door's open. Like, go, just go already. Mega Dragals can give people cancer. What? I think regular Dragals can do that too, can't it? It's a poison type. Can't poison in Pokemon just give you cancer anyway? I don't remember what Mega Dragals looks like. There's poison that fucks up the regeneration of cells. Sucks to suck. Spits a liquid that causes the regenerative power of cells to run wild. The liquid is deadly poison to everything other than itself. Okay, then that Pokemon shouldn't be allowed to Mega Evolve. If somebody Mega Evolved their Dragalge, I would forfeit. I would simply forfeit, because that would, like... Bro, what? There's no way I'm fighting that. That Pokemon should be outlawed with a fucking ability like that. No thanks. We don't need that. You shouldn't be allowed to compete with Pokemon like that. Give him the big suck. Slurpee! Hoo-ha! Mega Starmie has huge power. It turns into a physical attacker, which is really funny. It's like a fucking Super Sentai hero. It's hilarious. What a dumb fucking Mega. Red claws and the tips of tails are melting from high internal temperatures that are painful to Houndoom itself. That's correct. But also understand that if a Mega Houndoom claws you with those claws, you will never properly heal. You will feel that pain for the rest of your life. That Pokemon should be banned too. Absolutely ban that Pokemon. There we go. Alright, I guess we're gonna be going down floors instead of up floors. That's fine. Dude, imagine fighting something and just being like, wow, it hit me and I'll be feeling this for the rest of my life. Like, I'm not fighting that. Like, if you gotta fight it because your life depends on it, that's a different story, but I'm not playing I'm not fucking fighting a competitive battle against this motherfucker. They had to really drill at home that Mega Evolutions are insane. I think that's all it is. I think that's the long and short of it anyway. Sunny with her 86 attack, clicking Flare Blitz. I'd rather she had Flamethrower. But I think Flare Blitz is probably stronger than Flamethrower, even with the stat difference. I couldn't tell you, though. Dex entries were quirky during the Sun and Moon era. Dex entries were quirky since the beginning of Pokemon. You know that Macargo and Slugma are Pokemon that existed in Gen 2. I know that's hard to remember. But those Pokemon, their body temperatures are, like, rival the surface of the sun, according to the Pokedex. So, it's been like this for a long time. Mega Evolution came from Doomsday Weapon or something. I don't know, actually. I have no idea, really, what the Mega Evolution lore is, where the stones came from. I know what you're talking about. You're thinking about the ultimate weapon that uses the soul's power of, it's powered by the souls of dead Pokemon. Rayquaza can go Mega, but doesn't need a Mega Stone. I don't know why. He can do that. He's just rad. Now platypus have some sort of spur on the back feet that are venomous. If people get stung of that, it will feel pain for weeks or even months. Yeah, they're one of the most venomous creatures. But not the kind of venom that you'll die to. Yugi. Fisticuffs. I should have stayed in, actually. Well, okay. There's a lot of venomous creatures where their venom doesn't kill you, but it makes you wish you were dead. I imagine most of them are bugs. The platypus, however, is a very strange creature in general. But, like, why does it randomly have a poison hook? Like, oops, I cut myself. Well, feeling that for the rest of my life. Pufferfish, their poison is, that poison's lethal. That poison is not like, oh, I'm feeling pain. That poison is, I'm going to die. Gah. Kya. Alright, that's floor 9 done. There's one guy on floor 11, right? Oh, neat. You just die from pufferfish. You don't just die. Pretty sure I don't actually know how pufferfish poison kills you, but I'm pretty sure you don't just go and fall over. I don't think that's how that works. Pretty sure there's still a time period where they can save your life. Platypus glow green in the dark. Why do the Hina keep blowing up? Alright. So, plant in Australia with leaves covered in hairs made of silicate that deliver poison. Silicate can't be broken down by the body, which means that once the hairs get in your flesh, they are now there forever unless manually removed. Ogasa. How do you manually remove them? I mean, I guess you can pluck them out of your finger, but if they get further in your body, then that's the end of that one, isn't it? Huh. Everything dangerous lives in Australia. Australia was not meant to be... was not meant to be inhabited by humans, but human hubris said otherwise. It's called the Gimpy Gimpy plant. You made that up. You absolutely made that up. That's the kind of name you give something when it like fucking it like bit you. I guess it does bite you a little bit. It's real. I didn't doubt that it was a real plant, but like, what kind of fucking name is that? Gimpy, please! Meet up with the bear. The bear. Who's the bear? One more. And I'm off the stuff for good. Oh man, I got my whole evening planned out. I'm gonna get some food in me, and then I'm gonna sit, and then I'm gonna go to bed. It's a good fucking plan, isn't it? You ever been bit by a bullet ant? I hear those things are painful. A lot of those creatures don't exist in Canada because it's too cold. Demolished. Sometimes I hear about, like, what is it? What's the scale? There's a name for the scale, right? There's a name for the scale for, like, measuring pain. I forget what that is. But I like I think it's funny. Enough of your silly games. I think it's funny that, like, so in order to really understand how much something hurts, somebody has to experience it. God damn. I don't wanna. Would you be able to handle the excruciating pain of, like, a creature? If somebody gave you, like, 10 quid for it? Okay, let's just move on with this horrendous decision. If somebody gave you $1,000 to, like, just get stung by some kind of, like, horrifically painful creature, would you do it? Huh. How much money would it take for you to take a sting from a bullet ant? Like, that shit would hurt for a long time. I don't remember who I'm supposed to switch into to fight Eren, unfortunately. And I know I've made a huge stake in all of my play, but honestly, I'm just trying to finish this floor so I can go back to the bed and save. $1,000 is $1,000. Yam. How about $10? Demand suddenly skyrocketed. Why do you know false swipe? Chad, is it possible to die from that level of excruciating pain? I know that sounds like a weird thing to ask, but like, pain is usually a sign that something's wrong, right? But like, if you're feeling pain from something like that, it's an extended effect, right? You're not gonna die from it. But like, if you got it enough, would you just die from pain overload? Would you actually just die from pain overload? Like, you just wouldn't be able to, like, physically handle the pain, and you would just, like, your body would just, like, fucking collapse on itself. I never really thought about it, because pain is indicative of a problem, but not necessarily the problem itself, right? But in this case, is it not the pain that is the problem? Juiced right back up. Yeah. I'm stunned. Strong enough pain can cause your heart to give out. Well, saying ooga booga when I'm not paying attention can also cause my heart to give out. You know? If someone went ooga booga behind me and I was like, ah! Then, like, you know, that I could die from that. So it's like pain, the same idea. Don't give up. I give up. Alright, chat. We did it. We played a lot of Pokemon. Thank you for watching. So I did a lot. I beat Koga. I got Surf. I looked at the Chrima. I went to Seafoam Islands, and now I got through Cinnabar, did the Pokemon Mansion, and now I'm in Sylph. So once I beat Sylph, it's pretty much just, I do Sabrina, I do Blaine, I go to the islands, and then it's Giovanni into Victory Road. So there's still definitely a bit going on here, but we've made a lot of progress. Kind of makes you realize how short some Pokemon games can be when you know what's going on with them. But yeah, so next time we'll continue Sylph.